Football, Reborn talent becomes the sport's third pole. Like, share and subscribe. Episode 61. Chen Feng's night won the Golden Globe Award and the Golden Boot Award. The Copa Brazil triumph ceremony arrived and the stadium was packed to 80,000 people, mostly Londrina and Flamengo fans. Fans excitedly waved cheering banners and shouted Chen Feng's name. Everyone is waiting for the divine and exciting moment to come. Major Brazilian television, top media, and foreign football media broadcast the ceremony. First, the runner-up was awarded. The host announced, the runner-up of the 2011 Copa Brazil was Flamengo team. Flamengo, as an established team in the Baja Liga, has won numerous awards and has still shown great dominance this season. In the championship final, they put great pressure on their opponents with their super offensive power and top-notch defensive system. Next, let's drop weight and welcome the Flamengo team to the field to claim the prize. In an instant, Flamengo fans all stood up and shouted wildly. Although only the runner-up, Flamengo still made a brilliant achievement. Immediately afterwards, the Flamengo team, led by the head coach, stepped into the stadium and the fans screamed wildly. The Flamengo players waved to the fans and thanked them for their company this season, and the host solemnly announced, the winner of the 2011 Copa de Brazil was won by Team Londrina. Although the Londrina team is a rookie in the Baja Liga, they have passed all the way and repeatedly demonstrated the most magical, gorgeous, and soul-destroying samba skills in the Copa Brazil battlefield, and they have conquered their opponents with the coolest skills and the most top tactics, and they have conquered the whole of Brazil. Let's welcome them with a big round of applause. In an instant, the audience exploded, and the shouts were deafening. King Chen Wu, champion! King Chen Wu, champion! King Chen Wu, champion! Fans screamed loudly and kept shouting Chen Feng's name. I saw Londrina's players change into commemorative shirts of the 2011 Brazil Cup champion. The Brazil Cup trophy was placed on the lawn, and Londrina's whole team swooped and rushed to the Brazil Cup trophy. Chen Feng's smile blossomed. Xiao He excitedly pressed Chen Feng under him, and then Walter also pressed up. The other team members pounced and hugged them excitedly. Except for Chen Feng 17, everyone else is a veteran of Londrina, who has played in the Bagia League for many years, and Walter and others have been fighting for more than 10 years. They never imagined that one day they would be able to lift the Copa do Brasil trophy. Looking at the glorious, shining championship trophy, Londrina's players burst into tears with emotion. In an instant, the music celebration begins, and the atmosphere is once again climactic with brilliant light shows and fireworks throughout the stadium. Chen Feng led his teammates to lift the Brazil Cup trophy and bent down to the fans to thank them again for their support. Tens of thousands of fans at the scene actually worshipped. After the first and second runner-up awards are presented, the individual awards of this year's Copa Brazil will be presented. The atmosphere of the audience instantly exploded, and the fans of the Book Network shouted excitedly, Chen Wuwang, Golden Globe Award, Golden Boot Award. Chen Wuwang, Golden Globe Award, U Boot Award. Chen Wuwang, Golden Globe Award, Golden Boot Award. Everyone held their breath and listened intently, waiting for the moment when the host announced. I saw that the host cleared his throat, with a smile on his face, and deliberately sold the pass. We will next announce the individual awards of this year's Brazil Cup. Whose house will it go to? First to be announced are the winners of this year's Copa del Buador in Brazil. He is Team Londrina striker, Chen Feng. As soon as the words came out, the fans of the entire stadium went completely crazy, waving banners with Chen Feng's name printed on them and shouting Chen Feng's name loudly. Many female fans even sent flying kisses to Chen Feng. As a rookie player, Chen Feng has shown super dominance on the field. His magical, gorgeous, soul-destroying, and brilliant ball skills set off the climax of the game again and again. In the face of the strangulation and suppression of his opponents, he became more and more courageous, and repeatedly reinterpreted his peerless skills. Chen Feng made a total of 8 appearances, contributing 25 goals and 5 assists, breaking the history of scoring goals in the Brazilian Cup in one fell swoop, which is unprecedented. Next, let's welcome Chen Feng to receive the award. In the deafening cheers, Chen Feng, wearing a commemorative suit, walked onto the podium steadily and confidently, and at this moment, all the fans were impressed by Chen Feng's high appearance. Under the light, Chen Feng has a straight figure, handsome facial features, calm and powerful, resembling a top male model. There are many top young models hidden among the fans at the scene, who have been struggling in the fashion circle and know male models very well. But when they saw Chen Feng in a commemorative uniform walking onto the podium, it completely subverted their cognition. Chen Feng is so handsome, every step shows his temperament. It is simply a domestic first-line male model. It is conceivable that if Chen Feng wears a suit and customized clothes, he will become the top male model in Brazil. Wow, so handsome, cool. It's really a god under the heavens, amazing, a male model among the stars. Those male models I know are simply not worth mentioning in front of Chen Feng. Have you heard, Audi signed Chen Feng as an image spokesperson, and soon his feature film will come out. What? Is this true? Of course it's true, you can follow Audi on Twitter to see Chen Feng's test film. Really? I'll open it now and take a look. Chen Feng walked to the podium and received the Ballon d'Or trophy with both hands. The base is made of pyrite, and on the base is a golden football. Chen Feng picked up the Golden Ball award and kissed it, and the whole audience exploded again. Next, we will reveal the winners of this year's Copa de la Balica Golden Boot. Who would he be? At this moment, I believe that everyone present is just like me, nervous and excited. He is Chen Feng from Team Londrina. As soon as the words fell, the audience exploded again, and Chen Feng's fans cried with excitement one by one. From the Beijia League to Chen Feng and then become his fan, Chen Feng, as a rookie, has been questioned by countless people. But in the end, he realized his dream under great pressure and became the first player in the Brazilian Cup to win the Ballon d'Or and the Golden Boot. At this moment, Chen Feng is the undisputed god on the court. Next, we will reveal the winners of this year's Copa de Pale Golden Glove. Who would he be? He is Flamenco goalkeeper Amic. As a veteran of Flamengo, offense is art, but so is Amico's defense. Amico's fast movement and quick save response made Flamengo unique in the Copa Brazil, thus becoming the anchor of Flamengo. Next, let's welcome Amic. At this time, all of Flamengo's teammates and fans were thrilled, and they finally waited for this historic moment. The 3 most watched individual awards of the Brazilian Cup were won by Chen Feng, and Flamengo will win the last single award anyway. Amico is still in the hospital due to his unbalanced mentality, so the captain of Flamengo receives the Golden Glove award. Chen Feng also applauded Amic, a respectable opponent. After the award ceremony, Chen Feng walked off the court to return to the lounge, but he did not expect that a silhouette floated over in front of him. It was Laura. General Manager Laura, why are you here? Chen Feng asked suspiciously. In a trance, Chen Feng thought that Sarana was coming, but later reacted, this is an illusion. Sarana is preparing for the exam with all her strength, sprinting to Cambridge University, and must not have time to participate in the award ceremony. Such a beautiful moment, of course I want to share it with you. Congratulations to your team for winning the Copa de Bino, and congratulations on winning the double prize. Laura smiled and stretched out her white and slender hand. Thank you. Chen Feng smiled and added, since you are here, can you show your face and follow me back to the club to participate in the celebration? Today the club will hold a celebration party for me personally. Very honored. Laura immediately agreed, and then said, Chen, can you not call me general manager in the future? We are friends now, and I am also your fan, you can call me Laura instead? Looking at Laura's beautiful eyes, Chen Feng smiled indifferently, I am very honored. Coming to the scene of the celebration, the club has already decorated the entire scene in advance, full of red festive smell. The teammates were excited to learn that Chen Feng walked over with Laura, the general manager of Adibasai. And they have obtained accurate information. Once the club is sponsored by Audi, it will give all the staff an annual salary increase, which will increase by about 5 times. Seeing that Chen Feng and Laura have such a close relationship, presumably this sponsorship will definitely not run. The celebration began, the players danced samba together, and the dynamic DJ made the whole celebration lively. After that, a toast to drinking. Chen Feng didn't expect Laura to be able to drink so much, without the slightest hesitation in the next drink, and more importantly, he had already drunk more than 10 cups, and Laura did not show the slightest sign of blushing. Sure enough, she is a strong person in the workplace, and drinking is one of her professional skills, which Chen Feng sincerely admires. After the celebration, Chen Feng sent Laura out of the club. Laura, you have drunk too much, I'll drive you home. Chen Feng suggested, trouble you. Although Laura drank a lot, she was still in very good shape and her mind was clear. In the face of her sweetheart's initiative to send her home, she will definitely not refuse. Half an hour's drive to the downstairs of Laura's house, a European-style villa, in front of which is a large garden, full of exotic flowers and plants. Chen, I'm walking unsteadily, can you send me upstairs? Laura said, good. Chen Feng did not refuse, after all, sent the Buddha to the west, helped Laura into the villa, she tiptoed to open the door, and then went up to the second floor. After opening the door with the key, Laura suddenly pulled Chen Feng inside, and then hugged him. Laura, what are you doing? Chen Feng's face was full of surprise, it was rude for him to break into the single woman's home on this big night. Now Laura took the initiative to hug him again, if Sarana knew this, she would not be crazy jealous. Chen Feng quickly pushed Laura away and was about to leave, but Laura said, Chen, don't think about it, I know you have a girlfriend, but I'm willing to wait for you. We are now only friends and partners, and nothing else. Rest early. After Chen Feng finished speaking, he walked out of the villa and got into the car, still feeling uneasy in his heart. Laura is indeed a stunning woman and a workplace elite, almost calling for wind and rain in the workplace, but also very strong. Chen Feng was originally worried that Laura would be like the domineering and unscrupulous female president staged in the TV series, but her words dispelled his doubts before leaving. After returning to the club, Chen Feng washed up and prepared for bed, and as soon as he went to sleep, he heard a call from his mother Elena. Chen, are you okay in Brazil? The year will soon be over, and you will come back with the U18 echelon. Mommy wants to kill you. Elena said with great emotion. It seems that Chen Ping and Elena still don't know about him. Then he was relieved. By 720 is now only winning the Brazilian Cup, which is not enough. At the very least, he has to wait until he wins the Baja Liga title and then signs with Europe's top club, and then he will find a way to reveal it to his parents. Mom, don't worry, I live well in Brazil without any difficulties. If nothing else, I will return home with the U18 echelon. Chen Feng said lightly. Silly child, what accident can happen? How does your club feel? Londrina is really strong, I sincerely admire it, it's just a pity, no one in the U18 echelon has been signed. This is the norm, the atmosphere of Dragon Country football is too bad. In this case, you will return home with the U18 echelon, you know? Chen Feng said, and then chatted with his mother for half an hour, all of which were short of some parents. It probably means that Elena and Chen Ping quarreled, and Elena wanted to settle in one place, but Chen Ping didn't think so. He said that he used to be a Chinese Super League player, and when he lost playing in the second division, many fans would insult him as soon as they recognized him. That's why Chen Ping Kai often changes addresses. This is the main reason why those reporters can't find Chen Feng's family. Mom, Dad's behavior can still be understood, after all, it is really uncomfortable to be insulted. I also understood him as well as I could, it was just too tiring to move. Sometimes I want to go back to Brazil, and this new year, I have to visit my father and mother. Grandma, and Uncle's family, they are very good, don't worry. Well then, you go to bed early. Good night. Chen Feng was lying on the bed, but he couldn't sleep over and over, and his mind was full of Sarana and Laura. Sarana is now fully preparing for Cambridge University, and Alice has also said that she wants to enter this university, but she is likely to fail. As for Sandra, she has already made the decision to go to university in Brazil, and she wants to be with Xiao He forever. Sarana's grades are indeed quite good, but after all, Cambridge University is a top university in the world, and very few people can be admitted every year. So Sarana herself is not 100% sure. During this time, Chen Feng has received some unknown calls, basically scouts from European clubs. But the top clubs are not. It may be because Chen Feng's current results are not qualified, just a Brazil Cup champion, it is indeed far behind. Next up will be full preparation for the Bundesliga. The next match against Santos has to say, 2011 is a year of horse show, and he has already helped Santos win the Copa Libertadores. Chen Feng also knew that this would be the toughest game in so long. Episode 62. Chen Feng vs Mar, Samba dancers compete. After the Coupe de Basilia, all the fans set their sights on the Baja Liga. At present, the 20th round of the league has been played, and Londrina is at the top of the table with 15 wins, 5 draws and 0 defeats, accumulating 50 points. Santos is second in the table with 14 wins, 4 draws and 2 defeats, accumulating 46 points. Palmeiras, Internacional and Corinthians are in 3rd, 4th and 5th place, respectively. A week later, one of the most watched matches in the Baja Liga is about to come. That's Londrina vs Santos. Obviously, from the point of view of the standings and the team's form, overall strength, Londrina and Santos have the best hope of winning the Bundesliga title this year. Santos won the 2011 Copa Libertadores and Londrina won the 2011 Copa Brazil. The two teams are equal in strength and in very hot form. Moreover, both teams are led by top rookies, and it is rumored that this is not only the championship battle of the Baja Liga, but also the pinnacle showdown between two top samba dancers Chen Feng and Mar. When the two championship teams meet, what kind of flowers will burst out? Please let's wait and see. Casimiro, a famous commentator of Brazilian football, said on the show a week in advance. Obviously, in this life and death battle between Londrina versus Santos, Casimiro will personally play the commentary, which shows how heavy the weight of this match is. This game also once aroused heated discussions among fans. Finally, this life and death battle is coming. Chen Wuwang and Ma Er are my favorite stars, I really don't want to see them kill each other. Both teams are in hot form and have won the Copa Libertadores and the Copa Brazil respectively. Who will kill the deer? I still think Santos is more likely to win. I think so too. Santos is the top giant in the Baja Liga, and for so many years, whether it is the overall strength of the team or the experience of the game, it is far from being comparable to Londrina. Yes, in terms of comprehensive strength, Santos is definitely superior. At present, Londria Chen Wuwang is too strong, and the other teammates are too crotch-pulling. Every time he encounters a strong team, Londrina's life hangs in the balance. Several headwinds turned over, relying on the power of King Chen Wu. I don't think so. Chen Feng will organize and attack, his personal strength is very outstanding, and in terms of ball skills, he is completely above the horse. If Londrina can play to the quality of the Copa Brazil, it will not be a problem to win the match points. Chen Wuwang and Ma Er are the darlings of Brazilian football, and they are the last representatives of Samba football. Whoever loses is not a good thing, after all, Brazilian football needs them to support their faces. So I personally think a draw is best. Regardless of who loses or wins, I only look forward to the performance of Chen Wuwang and Ma Er in the competition. These two are known as the most coquettish, the most magical, gorgeous, and soul-destroying ball cafes in the arena. I really want to see who is more coquettish and who can show better. Yes, I also have such a sense of anticipation. It is estimated that the arena will be full of commotion and full of spectacle. Ha ha ha, two saucer men compete, there is a good show to watch. At the same time, thousands of miles away, Lu Qi, a commentator of Longhua CCTV Sports Channel, also used Chinese to make a preview in the program a week in advance. The sports channel will broadcast this much-watched match to fans on time and on time. Although the Baja League is not one of the 5 major leagues, due to the great influence of Chen Feng and Ma Er, two samba dancers, it has attracted more and more people's attention to the league around the world. As long as Chen Feng and Ma Er play, its popularity even approached the 5 major leagues for a while. Club Londrina. Head coach Koscielny said, Santos is extraordinary, and their ability to win the Copa Liberation is enough to show that they are a respectable and terrible opponent. We must not take it lightly, we must go all out. Are you confident? Yes. Londrina's entire squad said in unison. Yes, after the Brazil Cup, our team has improved several notches in terms of overall strength, team cooperation and cohesion. I believe that as long as we play normally, even if it is not beyond normal performance, we have a good chance to win this game. Next comes the very intense training and confrontation matches. The players sweated profusely, and after returning to the lounge, Chen Feng took a hot shower full of vitality and prepared to go to bed. Laura's phone called, Chen, do you have time to come over tomorrow to participate in the feature filming? We strive to do it all the first time and not waste your time. No problem. Chen Feng said with a smile. He had thought that the phone was about to hang up, but who knew that Laura asked again, how sure are you of the match against Santos? 5 or 5, Ma Er is a very good opponent, and the outside world often compares me to him now. I've seen horses race, and his style is very similar to yours. You are both the last inheritors of Samba football, no matter who loses or wins, I hope you both don't hurt the peace. After all, next season, I guess you're both going to Europe. At that time, Brazilian football needs the two of you to continue to carry forward Samba football. Laura's unique and far-sighted words deeply moved Chen Feng. She was right, according to the original historical development trajectory, with the retirement of world superstars such as De Luo, Xiao Luo, Kaka, etc., if not for Chen Feng crossing into this world, the horse would definitely be the last samba dancer. Thank you. Chen Feng smiled lightly. Early the next morning, Chen Feng came to the headquarters of Audi Brazil Group as scheduled. After a morning of feature filming, Chen Feng received unanimous praise from the cameraman. Because the star Chen Feng does not have the slightest shelf, he is humble, easygoing, low-key, and extremely cooperative, never a big name. It's a completely different person from the man on the court who plays all kinds of magical, gorgeous, and soul-destroying ball skills. And Laura, who was watching the whole time, was also completely moved by Chen Feng. After Chen Feng changed into a customized outfit, he was simply handsome. In addition, his humble and easygoing personality deeply shocked Laura. As the general manager, Laura has worked with countless stars, but such a low-key and humble star, only Chen Feng is alone. After the feature film is shot, the post-editing staff starts processing the feature film. During this time, Chen Feng sat in the lounge, and Laura also accompanied him throughout the process. Chen, your performance today impressed me. Is it? Since it is cooperation, then there must be a spirit of contract, and I am not a world superstar now. If I play big names at will, it will inevitably seem too self-righteous. Chen Feng thought that Laura's performance was that he was very cooperative with the photographer. After all, he heard the photographer's praise of himself throughout the process. No, that's not what I'm referring to. I've been in the fashion industry for many years, and your image in a bespoke outfit is comparable to that of a top male model. Laura said with a smile. As soon as these words came out, Chen Feng unconsciously laughed. It turns out that you were talking about this. I don't know anything about the fashion industry, so I don't know how to pick up your words. Chen, next year I will most likely be transferred to Europe as a vice president if you go too. I hope we can work together again. Laura looked at Chen Feng sincerely and enthusiastically, and her beautiful eyes were full of appreciation and adoration. This cooperation, that's naturally no problem. It's just that if I go to a European club, it is unknown whether I can shine. After all, European football is the top of the world, my half bucket of water may not be able to show off, not to mention, Europe has always respected European football, spurned Samba football, and estimated that after I go, it will become the target of everyone. Hearing Chen Feng's words, Laura was not worried at all, but said with a smile. No, you're going to show off in Europe and shame the prejudiced. Poof. After hearing this, Chen Feng couldn't help but laugh again. He didn't expect Laura to trust him so much. The two chatted for a while, and the editor told them to go to the computer to watch the feature film. If it's okay, it's officially released. Chen Feng did not have the slightest opinion. Laura pointed out many details with solid professional knowledge, and after the editor re-edited several times, Laura nodded and agreed. As soon as the feature film was released, it caused an uproar in the industry. Not only among the fans, but also caused a huge sensation in the fashion industry. Countless top male and female models saluted Chen Feng. My God, is this the king of Chenwu? It's really handsome in the sky, Audie's vision is too powerful. Top male models can't make such a feature film, is this Chen Wuwang really a god? How to do everything is so outstanding. I've watched Chen Wuwang's game, he is extremely coquettish on the court, I never thought he could actually make such a blockbuster. Audie is going to be out of the sky now, and it is estimated that female fans will be crazy to buy Audie's products. Wow, Chen Wuwang is simply the top male model among the stars, the top star among the male models. It means that I am going to be stunned by King Chenwu. It's about to erupt nosebleeds. Meanwhile, Santos Club. The horse looked frustrated, and when he learned that the next race was against Londrina, he inexplicably felt uneasy. From the first match of the Brazil Cup, Ma-Er began to pay attention to Chen Feng. Londrina is just a team that has always been active in the Beijia League, but he did not expect that since signing Chen Feng, he not only successfully won the Beijia League, successfully promoted to the first division, but also won the Brazilian Cup with a big bang. Chen Feng's performance on the course deeply disturbed the horses. On the one hand, it is because although Chen Feng's ball skills are slightly clumsy, he can show his long-lost skills. In this regard, the horse is ashamed of itself. For example, let him show the pendulum passing and Pei's arc, he is not unable to show. But in the arena, in that state of extreme tension and high-speed running, he is completely unable to show off. On the other hand, since Londrina's victory over the second division, Chen Feng's skills seem to have been improving mysteriously. Especially in the final of the Brazil Cup, it is obvious that Chen Feng is more skilled and in his skills. The traces of the previous botched are becoming less and less visible. It's only been a few months. Chen Feng could actually improve rapidly in such a short period of time? If he hadn't seen it with his own eyes and killed him, he wouldn't have wanted to believe that this was the truth. Chen Feng is a respectable and formidable opponent. If Santos loses the next game, then the honor that originally belonged to his horse will most likely be snatched away by Chen Feng. It was definitely a major blow to his career. Londrina's strength is very strong, especially the core of the team, Chen Feng, he is really a wizard. Without Chen Feng's Londrina, the combat effectiveness has plummeted in an instant, and the strength can only barely keep the qualification of the Beijia at most. But with Chen Feng, Londrina, instantly transformed, whether it is offensive power or defensive power, it is the top. The Santos coach said to the players. Obviously it's an uphill battle. The outside world has great expectations for us, after all, we are a Baja powerhouse, and our comprehensive strength is above Londrina. Therefore, we must win this game and not disappoint the fans. Faithful? Yes. Louder, haven't you eaten? Yes. Well, I believe you. After the training, Santos entered a tense training match, and 3 days later, both teams announced their starting lineups at the same time. Londrina's squad is consistent with the Copa do Brasil, with Chen Feng coming on as a starter. On Santos' side, strikers include Horses, Diogo, Borges, and others. Midfielders include Ganso, Henrik, Elano, and others. Defenders include Leo, Danilo, and Derval. The goalkeepers include Aranja, Vladimir, and others, a total of 23 people. In addition to the horse, Gansua caught Chen Feng's attention. In the Liberation Cup, Ma-Er and Ganso formed an indestructible attack combination, repeatedly tearing the opponent's defense, and the attack was very fierce. Ganso is good at his left foot, his ability to protect the ball and fight is very good, and his style is fluid but strong and practical, and he was once known as the new Zidane. It's just a pity that according to the original historical development trajectory, the extremely talented Ganso was finally lost due to injuries. But these are all digressions. Now that Ganso is very strong, the attack combination with the horse will definitely pose a great threat to Londrina. Chen Feng had to come up with a strategy to deal with it. Chen, after your feature film was released, the effect was very good, and our daily turnover is skyrocketing. According to store statistics, most of them are your female fans. Laura called to congratulate Chen Feng. I'm still worried that it won't work. Chen Feng said with a smile. I have spoken to General Manager Marcelo on the phone and decided to sponsor your club for 10 million euros first. As soon as he heard that the sponsorship of 10 million euros was sponsored, Chen Feng cheered excitedly, knowing that the reason why the Brazilian league has little influence is because the Brazilian economy is not good, and the club does not have much money. As long as there are outstanding stars, they will soon be targeted by scouts in Europe's 5 major leagues, and finally poached by high salaries. The players can't be blamed for this, only that the water flows low, and the people go higher. Now that Londrina has Audi's sponsorship, there is more capital to develop better players. Chen Feng realized that he was going to leave Londrina sooner or later, and before he left, he wanted to do as much as possible in the status club. Thank you, Laura, I'll invite you to dinner another day, and you can choose the place. Okay. Don't forget it. Laura quipped. After hanging up the phone, Chen Feng received a call from General Manager Marcelo, who was very excited to congratulate and thank him. If it were not for him, Londrina would not have been able to get this big sponsorship. Feather. As soon as Marcelo hung up the phone, Sarana's phone called, and Sarana said that she missed Chen Feng very much and hoped that after the next match with Santos, she would take time to visit her at school. Chen Feng agreed. Episode 63. The Beijia Seconds changed into a fancy stadium, and the fans were stunned by Xiao. 4 days later, the home game Londrina vs away Santos officially began, and the whole Brazil was boiling, and the topic of Londrina vs Santos rushed to the top of the hot search list on major social platforms, forums, etc. Just click on a topic and there are millions of comments, and even more than tens of millions. Fans of both teams also opened their mouths and bombarded each other, both insisting that their favorite team would definitely win. Brazil's top media, including TV, newspapers, magazines, and more, are watching this match closely. Other countries, especially South American countries, are also watching this match, and there are millions of fans waiting for this life and death battle. The players of the two teams entered the field one after another, and Chen Feng saw at a glance the horse with 2 sideburns that basically shaved Moxigan's head. At this time, the horse was only 19 years old, full of spirit and handsome. Feeling that Chen Feng was looking at him, Ma-er actually blinked handsomely at Chen Feng. Chen Feng returned with an evil smile at the corner of his mouth. The referee blew the start whistle, and Santos took possession of the ball. From the beginning of the game, Ganso showed great ball protection and confrontation ability. He frontal-lateral inventory, with great speed and flowing ball skills, straight into the Londrina penalty area. Facing Londrina's cone defense, Ganso struck a brilliant blow to the horse in the ribs. As soon as the horse took the ball, he instantly began to show his gorgeous and flowing samba skills, facing the chase and interception of several defenders of Londrina, picking the ball at once, pulling the ball through the crotch at once. The whole process was streamlined, in one go, and the defenders were played by him. What a geek guy. This kid's style is exactly the same as Chen. I didn't expect that we would also have a day to be shown by others. Between the electric flint, the small angle of the left rib of the horse penalty area instantly picked up the goalkeeper, and the ball passed by the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper simply did not have time to react. The score is 1-0. Santos strikes first. The Santos fans at the scene instantly fried the pan and shouted the horse's name. What? This is a master of body strokes, right? How the hell did this kid do it? This is also too evil, depicting the goalkeeper's body to shoot. It's really a bold artist. The horse's ball style is too dazzling and coquettish, and this person's whole image is also very compatible with his ball style, which is completely different from Chen Wuwang. It's only been less than 537 in the first 10 minutes. Santos has the first goal. I really pinch the sweat for Londrina. The horse is really powerful, no wonder the outside world calls him the last samba dancer. Chen, what should I do? This kid Ma-er is too chicken thief to prevent him at all. The more he guarded against him, the more he liked the show. What a bad draw. Walter said breathlessly. Don't panic, you don't need to prevent him, you can't prevent him, you just need to defend your positions well, and I'll do the rest. The game continued, and Chen Feng ran all the way from the backfield lightning without the ball straight into the Santos penalty area. Xiaohe curved the ball on the left side, and Chen Feng, who inserted in front, unloaded the ball and turned around and volleyed in one go. Chen Feng successfully pulled back a game for Londrina, and the score came to 1-1. After Santos took the ball, Ganso and the horses once again launched a ferocious attack on the Londrina penalty area. It has to be said that with Ganso's cooperation, the horse is like a divine help, and the strongest forward quickly tore through Londrina's defense. Blackie and Walter stepped forward to chase and intercept Ganso, who passed it with his left foot to the horse. Walter then led the men up to surround the horses. After the horse took the ball, it began to start, riding a long drive straight in, facing Walter's encirclement. In an instant, the horse pulled the ball to the other calf with the arch of the foot, and then swung the ball from the rear around the top of the head, sliding out a rainbow-like arc, perfectly bypassing Walter and other defenders. This is the horse's signature rainbow passing. As soon as the sign was released, tens of thousands of Santos fans shouted wildly, took off their clothes and waved wildly. The horse showed his signature rainbow, and several of Londrina's defenders were stunned. Once again, he went to the meeting single-handedly and rode to the forbidden land of Londrina. Will he shoot? Will he play goalkeepers like Chen Feng? It's so wicked, he actually pulled the ball through the crotch, successfully passed the goalkeeper, and then easily shot in. The score came to 2-1. Only half an hour had passed, and the horse actually scored twice. At this moment, everyone in the audience was shocked, and their jaws dropped. Sure enough, he is the future superstar of world football, and at the age of only 19, he has such top-notch skills. At this moment, even Chen Feng had to admire it. As far as ball skills are concerned, although the horse cannot brush as many tricks as Chen Feng, if it comes to fluency and naturalness, the horse is definitely above himself. If Chen Feng guessed correctly, the column of his Samba skills must be increased to about 7,000 or 8,000 to be compared with horses. Chen Feng felt a sense of crisis for the first time. At present, his Samba skills column has only been raised to 6,000, which is still a long way from 7,000 or 8,000. If you want to play the best Samba skills, you have to let Santos suppress himself. But now Santos has not suppressed his thoughts at all, and the tactic given by their head coach is to play the strongest forward advantage of the horse and Ganso, attack fiercely, and catch Londrina by surprise. In contrast, Londrina's side lacks a right arm like Ganso, who can attack and defend. The gap between Xiaohe and Walter and Ganso is relatively large, and it is not so helpful to Chen Feng. Now Chen Feng suddenly felt isolated and helpless. After Xiaohe took the ball, he tried to single go straight into Santos's fierce opponent, but Santos' defense was known as steel defense. Xiaohe lost several breakouts, and finally crossed to Chen Feng on the left side in a long sigh. But did not expect to be cut off by the horse that suddenly flashed, and the horse after taking the ball began to accelerate from the backfield, straight to the Londrina penalty area. Oops. Chen Feng realized the danger, so he gave up his position and chased after the horse. He must surround the horse, otherwise it will be dangerous to let him enter the forbidden area. This kid is also tricky, and Londrina's team can't stop him at all. Chen Feng seized the opportunity and slid a tackle from the flank and hit the ball. However, after a physical confrontation between Xiaohe and Gansua, they failed, and the ball was cut off by Gansua. Seeing this, the horse at the 12th yard turned and volleyed a wonderful barb to break the goal, and this Mercury scene instantly shocked everyone present. Tens of thousands of fans in the stand screamed and lost their voices. They had roughly guessed the ending, and Santos had a very good chance of winning the game. But they didn't expect that the horse that flew in the Liberation Cup could face the Londrina team again and again. At this moment, the horse seemed to be a god on the football field. And Chen Feng seemed to be invisible at this moment. This gap hit Londrina's fans deeply, and there was a lot of sighs. The score came to 3-1. Londrina is already 2 goals behind, and the head coach and assistant coaches, as well as the substitutes, have deeply defended Londrina. It is clear that Santos' tactics have worked very well. The horse with Ganso is like a divine help. The horse only needs to play and keep breaking through the shot, and he doesn't have to worry about other defenses and broken balls. But on the other hand, on Londrina's side, due to the gap in strength between Xiaohe and Walter, the ball will be cut off by the other party, and even the opportunity to pass the ball will be robbed. How can this make Chen Feng show up? Assistant coach Pardo covered most of his face with his right hand, and he was already unable to complain about the performance of Blackie and Walter. The flaws have been revealed, and Santos will do his best to attack them, and Londrina is in danger. Chen Feng also realized this, and seeing that his teammates were extremely frustrated, he made a gesture and activated the strangling tactic against Ganso. Chen Feng also knew that the horse was the best at breaking and strangulating tactics, so he set his sights on Gansua's body. As long as the linkage between Ganso and the horse is cut off, the horse will also fall into a state of isolation. The match continued, and Londrina quickly cast a stranglehold against Ganso, and in the face of the four-man chase, Ganso's play was greatly limited. Ganso couldn't touch the ball at all. As soon as the other players have the ball, they will try their best to pass the ball to the horse. When the horse saw that Ganso was strangled, he was not in a hurry, and as soon as he took the ball, he began to play samba again, and plunged straight into the Londrina penalty area. It seems that he is ready to take up the burden of attack. The horse fired a crotch-piercing defender from the left side of the box, dodged the goalkeeper and then sent the ball into the net with a physically refractive shot. The score is 4-1. A hat-trick from the horses helped Santos win the race again. The atmosphere reached a climax again, with tens of thousands of fans chanting the horse's name. After the horse scored the goal, he excitedly provoked a cool samba dance on the field and led his teammates to provoke samba dance together. At this time, Londrina's mentality was severely damaged, and at one point he thought that the game was lost. Chen Feng also sighed, this kid Mar is much more powerful than he thought. No wonder after going to Europe, he can grow into a talented player of the same level as Messi and Ronaldo. Since he couldn't let Santos suppress himself, then Chen Feng had to find a way to show up and make the sound wave reach 10,000, then he could guarantee another goal. After thinking about it, Chen Feng had a plan in his heart. After Chen Feng took the ball, in the face of the defenders chasing and blocking, he passed by the tail of an ox and the crotch of the bicycle and passed smoothly. Then he deliberately ran in front of the horse in order to let the horse block him. Ma-er naturally will not let go of this opportunity. He has always wanted to single out Chen Feng 1v1 to see who can show each other to death. Unexpectedly, as soon as the horse rushed forward, Chen Feng made a rainbow, the ball fell steadily behind the horse, and Chen Feng suddenly started and pulled the ball firmly under his feet. At this moment, all the fans of Londrina completely exploded, and the sound wave after wave reached 6,000 in an instant. But there is still 4,000 away from 10,000, and you must think of other ways. Chen Feng had already passed the horse and could go straight into the Santos penalty area and look for an opportunity to shoot. But he did not do this, but waited for the horse to catch up again. Facing the angry horse, Chen Feng made a 180-degree rotation, once again fiercely left the horse behind. In the face of Santos' chase and interception, Chen Feng directly shot out the Super World Wave. After being saved by the opposing goalkeeper, he killed a barb shot into the box. The score suddenly came to 4-2. At this moment, Londrina's fans were shocked and dumbfounded. You must know that before this, Chen Feng has never shown for the sake of show, and every time he shows is for shooting. But this time, he made an exception. He made an exception for horses. In front of the horse, he actually performed a rainbow stunt. After passing the horse, he did not rush straight into the forbidden place, but waited for the horse to come up, and showed a 180-degree rotation again. The horse was shown green. This situation is very similar. This is the usual operation of Ma-er show others. He didn't expect that he would be turned over by someone one day. This horse was completely enraged, and the secret road and others would show back, and they wanted to get their lost face back. Ha ha ha, the horse was actually shown, these two scumbags, now they are showing each other's attack mode, and the competition is getting more and more interesting. Chen Feng is estimated to have been provoked. Santos scored 4 goals in a row, horse hat-trick. This situation is the first time Chen Feng has seen it. Sure enough, it takes a troublesome man to cure a troublesome man. Beijia seconds into a freestyle stadium, this is much more enjoyable to watch than when Xiao Luo was there. Xiao Luo is different, after all, his football skills have fallen too obviously, and he has played in Europe for so long, he has long been assimilated by European football. But Mar is an authentic samba dancer, and his belief is samba football. Show it off, let's see the best samba football. What kind of operation I expect the horse to show. And Chen Feng also gained 10,000 sound wave value because of this. The next shot must be scored, no matter where it is. I have to say that the system is really giving, and Chen Feng is full of joy. Brazilian fans were talking excitedly. After Ganso took the ball, he looked for an opportunity to pass it, but he did not expect to be closely defended by Londrina, and there was no chance to pass the ball at all. Chen Feng took advantage of this opportunity to shovel away the ball under Gansua's feet with a flying shovel, so angry that he scolded his mother. Chen Feng suddenly started after breaking the ball, and he went to the Santos penalty area together. The horse was so angry that he gritted his teeth. He was thinking about how to show Chen Feng this time, but the ball was cut off by Chen Feng. Ganso, this kid is really getting less and less useful. Facing the horse's defense, Chen Feng held his face, continuously flipped the ball, and then used the ox's tail to pass the horse again. But Chen Feng was not in a hurry to shoot. Anyway, this goal must be scored. He must play with the horse, completely break his mentality. Let him taste the feeling of being broken by others. Ganzhua and 5 other defenders started to encircle and block Chen Feng, and Chen Feng instantly made a 720-degree rotation, like a ghost, quickly swung past the defense of several people, and jumped in front of the horse again. What does this kid want to do? Can I beg you to shoot? What do you mean by showing around me? The horse's mentality is a little broken. Who knew that in the next second, Chen Feng picked the ball and threw the horse off again, and the next moment that shocked everyone came, Chen Feng kicked the barb and actually shot the ball to the horse in the direction where his goal was located. Ganso? Koscielny? All the fans? Just when everyone was confused, I don't know what trick Chen Feng wanted to play, Chen Feng suddenly accelerated and started up, smashed off Santos players at a speed comparable to the flying bolt, and was the first to get the ball. Immediately afterwards, Chen Feng directly shot a long pass, and the ball actually flew over the players' heads in a treacherous arc, and finally fooled the goalkeeper's defense and went straight into the net. The score came to 4-3. Chen Feng's hat-trick helped Didina reclaim the B goal. Horse? Ganso? Koscielny? All the fans? Episode 64. The conflict escalates, and the horse is anxious. The bloody horse exploded at this time, all this time in the arena, only he showed others, and no one ever showed him. Unexpectedly, Chen Feng actually insulted him so much, deliberately showing his skills in front of him, and he had already passed and actually had to pass him again? What's even more intolerable is that this kid actually kicked the ball in the direction of his goal, and then used the speed advantage to throw off the defender's pursuit, plus a long pass to the door. It's so insulting. Is it unbearable? All the commentators, experts, fans who paid attention to this game were all stunned and didn't know what happened. I only know that Chen Feng's performance on the field just now turned the entire arena, which made people shout that they couldn't stand it after watching it. After the referee and the linesman looked at each other, they spread their hands and their faces were full of helplessness. The game did not strictly stipulate that Chen Feng was fouled just doing that, and obviously his goal was effective. It's just that this is a little too disrespectful to Santos players. Next, I am afraid that the conflict will escalate, and it is very likely that a big fight will break out. After the Liberation Cup Championship this year, Santos, led by horses, had a violent conflict with Penarol. So the referee has prepared in advance, and as soon as something is wrong, he will let the staff go up and persuade him. Ganso, who was strangled by Londrina, was also extremely depressed, and he did not expect that Londrina would actually target him, not the horse. No wonder you can win the Copa Brazil in one fell swoop, there are really a few brushes. Ganso sighed. At the same time, thousands of miles away, in the live broadcast room of Longwa CCTV Sports Channel, the barrage of countless fans dominated the screen. It is estimated that Ma Urxiu is anxious, and it is estimated that he will take revenge. This is Londrina's targeted tactics. Santos is full of firepower on the offensive end, the horse shows off in all directions, and he actually plays a hat trick, and Chen Feng has no way. Mar, this kid is only 19 years old, bloody, typical Brazilian teenager. It is estimated that he will already collapse at this time. Will there be a big conflict? It's possible. The competition is really getting more and more exciting. The game continued. As soon as the horse took the ball, he dribbled in the right rib, flew up, killed Londrina's defense, and then the scene that shocked everyone appeared again, facing only the goalkeeper's goal. The horse actually did not choose to shoot. Does he want to do some kind of moth? The next moment, Ma Er turned around and kicked a fierce kick towards Chen Feng. Obviously he wanted to take revenge on Chen Feng. Because Chen Feng had the blessing of the Overlord's body, his reaction speed was extremely fast, and he dodged this fierce blow with a twist of his head in an instant. But Xiao He, who was standing behind him, was not so lucky. The ball directly headshot Xiao He. Shu 1-1. Because the ball hit Xiao He's right eye, his right eye erupted with severe pain. But what is unacceptable to everyone is that the linesman did not blow the whistle of the violation. This is obviously a deliberate retaliation. It is a proper violation in the arena, and the linesman is actually so cover-up? Chen Feng's long-suppressed evil fire rushed up. After the ball hit Xiao He's eyes, Xiao He covered his eyes with his right hand and continued to complete the next game as much as possible. Ko saw that he could still carry it, so he didn't signal to change. The horses got the ball again and galloped all the way, sweeping the penalty area guards and pressing into the Londrina penalty area. Seeing this, Chen Feng turned into a goal ghost again, and the horse chose to kick and shoot, thinking that he would properly score another goal, but he did not expect that the moment the ball shot into the net, a ghostly shadow suddenly pounced from the side. It was Chen Feng. Chen Feng made a barb in the air and kicked the ball out of the backfield. At this moment, the horse was dumbfounded. This kid, why is it so outrageous? What an evil door. The horse grinned angrily. The horse, who has played Samba football since he was a child, whether on the field or on the street, he has never seen such a ghostly person. After Walter took the ball at the back, he started and ran at high speed, facing the goalkeeper's defense. Walter chose to shoot low into the far corner. The goalkeeper slammed a flutter on the ground and watched as the ball burrowed into the net. Chen Feng's ball feeding was simply a fancy feeding cake, which was fed directly into Walter's mouth. If he hadn't made it, Walter could retire in place. The score came to 4-4. Walter also scored his third goal of the season. Londrina's fans shouted the names of Chen Feng and Walter madly, and for the first time they were so enthusiastically shouted by the fans. Walter, who was already extremely excited, chose to dance samba in the arena. At the same time, the referee also blew the whistle for the end of the first half, halftime. Back in the lounge, the team doctor examined Blackie's eyes. Fortunately, the ball did not hurt the core, otherwise he might have lost his sight. But for insurance, it is still recommended to go to a major hospital for a checkup immediately. Kosciuri agreed, and in the second half, he let the substitute striker play. Mar is really bad-hearted, he actually has revenge. Walter was so angry that his mouth was crooked. This kid is bloody, and in recent years, he has made a splash in domestic football, so naturally he can't stand a little insult. It's okay, I have my own way of coping. If this kid is in a hurry, his emotional intelligence and ball skills will plummet. Walter said angrily again, the tailor over there is really a bastard, such an obvious foul, he actually doesn't blow the whistle. Chen Feng smiled faintly after hearing this. He already had a way to deal with the referee in his heart, that is, to borrow the tricks of the horse. Meanwhile, the Santos lounge. Now that the score is even, we are on the verge of danger. Ganso looked worried. George Ettore will definitely not be able to play in the second half, if Walter then without his right arm, Ren, that kid has great ability, and he can't save it. The horse showed its evil side. The 19-year-old horse is just at the age of blood, young and ambitious, and is prone to infinite frivolity and arrogance. Of course, even 10 years later, the arrogance of this kid has not changed much, and he still likes to play tricks on the field. That's the real reason why the horses are good players, but not top stars like Mero. In the second half, we will continue to strangle Walter. Of course, if he can be replaced, then our strangling array can be used on Chen Feng. The Santos head coach showed a meaningful smile. At the beginning of the second half, Londrina kicked off, and as soon as Walter got the ball, Santos gathered his firepower to chase and intercept Walter, although it was necessary to get Walter off the field, but it could not be too obvious. After all, this is the much-anticipated Bundesliga field. After all, Walter is a veteran, dribbling and passing, although not very technical, but fortunately skilled and experienced. Several times, with solid dribbling skills, he swung past several defenders. The horses on the periphery of the penalty area saw that their teammates could not even prevent Walter, so their anger soared, and they directly took advantage of Walter's passing time, and hit the ball with a flying tackle from behind. Fortunately, Walter had already taken precautions, held the ball high with both feet, and then put the ball on his chest, and then passed the ball to Chen Feng with a header. This second pass won deafening cheers from the audience. Horse, check a little, don't let your dirty thoughts contaminate the stadium, Walter glared at the horse fiercely. As a veteran of Beijia, how could he not see that the horse just flying shovel was wantonly retaliation? If it weren't for his experience, it is estimated that the consequences would be serious. Who knew that the horse was not angry at all after hearing this, and actually sent a flying kiss to Walter? So angry that Walter wanted to beat him on the spot, but fortunately he was firmly held by the central defender. At this time, after Chen Feng took the ball, he started at high speed and inserted directly into Santos' ribs, and Chen Feng ran at high speed with the ball while paying attention to the position of the linesman. These two goods actually dare to openly favor Santos, see how I teach you. Immediately afterwards, Chen Feng learned the appearance of a horse, turned around and kicked a fierce kick towards the linesman. Chen Feng is not a horse. The moment he has the power of the overlord, the ball bursts out with huge power, and it hits the right face of the lineman with a thunderous momentum. Boom. Click. A crisp and loud sound followed, and the right cheekbone of the referee instantly dented, and the referee's whole person also lay on his back. This scene once again shocked everyone present. Beep. The referee blew the whistle of the violation, saw that the linesman was rolling on the ground in pain, and immediately called the team doctor to examine his wound. The referee immediately gave Chen Feng a yellow card. Why give Chen a yellow card? In the first half, the horse kicked and injured Xiao He in the same way. Why didn't you give a yellow card? Walter looked angry and stepped forward to talk to the referee. The referee gritted his teeth. He didn't want to argue with Walter and he didn't want to explain too much about it. Seeing that Walter was still unforgiving, the referee directly showed a yellow card to Walter and warned him with a gesture that if he dared to argue with the referee again, then he would face being sent off. So angry that Walter stomped his foot. "Walter, don't be angry, isn't it just a yellow card? I didn't end up again, what are you worried about?" Chen Feng pulled Walter over and calmed him down. After a preliminary examination of the linesman, the team doctor found that he had a fractured right cheekbone and a fractured lumbar spine, and he was seriously injured. Then use a stretcher to carry the linesman off the field. The organizers had to use substitute linesmen. What? The linesman was kicked and fractured in the right cheekbone? Lumbar vertebral fracture? Is the ball so powerful? Yes, it's unbelievable. Chen Feng is also a bloody Fong. The referee in the first half favored Santos, and now retribution is coming. I'll go there, it's terrifying. How does a resilient leather ball kick the linesman into this bird-like look? Incredible, if I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I wouldn't have believed it was real. This is called treating his body with his human way, who called Mar this kid is not authentic, and he brought Xiao to the end in the first half. Chen Feng is obviously angry, first the linesman, then it won't be Santos players, right? The ball has such a big impact? This is completely against the laws of physics. Upstairs, has Chen Feng violated the laws of physics less? How can I look explosive? The linesman has been protecting Santos from the beginning, Santos all kinds of small fouls, he doesn't care. On the contrary, there is a little movement on Londrina's side, and he is either warning or showing cards. Such a person who lacks professional ethics is not qualified to be a referee. Thousands of miles away, netizens in the Dragon Kingdom were actively discussing. And Santos players saw the linesman being kicked and seriously injured, and they were so surprised that their eyes almost popped out. Did the ball break the right cheekbone? How much power did this kick from Chen Feng use? Historically, there have been players who were kicked by mistake and seriously injured, but they were kicked, not hit by a ball. It's incredible. After this incident, Santos's entire team converged, including the bloody horse. After all, no one wanted to be another linesman. You must know that once a player fractures his lumbar spine, it is very likely that his career will be completely over. With the last 10 minutes left in the game, the two sides entered into a fierce scramble, but both followed strict defensive rules and did not clashes again. Londrina continued to strangle Ganso, while Santos began to encircle and intercept Chen Feng, and seemed to show signs of anti-offside tactics. The score has been tied by Londrina, Santos seems to lack stamina, and the offensive power has quickly plummeted, not to mention that the ball is still in Londrina's hands, and their only way is to choose to continue this score until the end of the game. Immediately afterwards, Santos used 6 defenders to strangle Chen Feng. But he maintained the most basic sanity and did not suppress him too much, resulting in his suppression anti-show card being unable to be used. When he was anxious, Chen Feng suddenly thought that the defensive density of 6 defenders was a nightmare for all offensive players. But in the execution of a conventional defensive tactic, 6 defenders became the biggest drawback. This disadvantage is that it creates offside. Offside can be a very conventional tactic, but at the same time it carries great risk. Because in order to create offside success, you need the entire guard line to maintain an absolute sense of tacit understanding. Once the defender moves half a beat slower, it will lead to a failure to create an offside, and it may also give the opponent a chance to surprise with a single knife. Thinking of this, Chen Feng had a way to crack the strangling in his heart. Just now in the small penalty area twice to grab points and 2 broken walls, but Chen Feng was not anxious, but closely observed the opponent. Sure enough, Londrina's offensive line moved to the midfield, Santos' back line also began to slowly move forward, which is obviously an offside tactic. A sneer appeared at the corner of Chen Feng's mouth, deliberately standing on the same level as Santos' defenders. Within seconds, Santos' guard line moved about 2 meters towards the front court, and Chen Feng raised his hand to signal Walter to pass the ball. However, because Santos' formation is too narrow, the back line is basically near the top of the arc of the big penalty area, and the entire defense line is as tight as a cone barrel, and Walter can only choose to pass the ball from above. Although the risk is extremely high, passing it on to Chen Feng is the only way. Walter was apprehensive and tried to control the strength of his passes. Boom! The ball made a light arc in the air and passed over Chen Feng's head. Chen Feng had already calculated the amount of advance, quickly adjusted his position, and then started quickly. Santos' offside-making tactics collapsed in an instant. Several defenders scolded their mothers in their hearts. Chen Feng, this kid is really too special. They originally thought of using the method of creating an offside, so that after Chen Feng took the ball, even if he shot into the goal, he would be blown off by the referee. They didn't expect Chen Feng's anti-offside consciousness to be so strong. Immediately afterwards, Chen Feng glanced at the pass that was about to fly overhead. Walter's strength was slightly greater, and other people would definitely not be able to touch the ball, but Chen Feng was different. In an instant, Chen Feng bounced on the spot, jumped high, and then smashed the ball into the net with a header. In the next second, the entire stadium erupted into a deafening cheer. The score is 5-4. Offside? Is Chen Feng offside? No, the referee didn't blow the offside whistle. The ball worked. Santos wanted to keep the draw until the end of the game, but in the end he was countered offside by Chen Feng and shot with a header. It's really exquisite. Chen Feng's first senior year in Beijia. Episode 65. Lund stars visit nightclubs? Chen Feng was accosted? Londrina narrowly beat Santos by 1 goal. At this moment, the whole audience completely boiled, and this high-profile duel between two champions ended with Londrina winning the match. The horse was in disbelief, his eyes were lost, and he did not want to end the field for a long time. Santos' entire team was demoralized, and one by one, like defeated roosters, they walked lazily off the field. On Londrina's side, his teammates rushed towards Chen Feng and threw him high. Tens of thousands of fans in the audience were tearful with excitement. The horses were devastated and the morale of Santos' team was greatly reduced. After all, this is Santos' first race since winning the Copa Libertadores. The duel between the two champions ends with Londrina's victory. The two samba dancers showed each other's samba skills on the field, bringing the audience an incomparably magical, gorgeous, brilliant artistic beauty. The whole game was full of ups and downs. The climax was repeated, with Londrina trailing by 3 goals. The soul of the team, Chen Feng, decisively stepped up, created the first senior of the season, and fed the cake to help teammate Walter shoot successfully. At this moment, Chen Feng finally used his strength to prove to the whole of Brazil who is the real samba king. Brazilian commentator Casimiro explains passionately. On Brazilian Twitter and the Dragon Country Neck, the topic of this game is endless. Hashtag 44, the two championship duels ended with Londrina's victory. Hashtag who will kill the deer? Hashtag PK, Ma Air vs Chen Feng. Hashtag, the horse was actually teased by Chen Feng continuously? Liberation Cup is not as rich as Brazil Cup? Hashtag, the climax is stacked, the sky shows instantly, Londrina vs Santos. Face value vote, Chen Feng PK horse? Who is your male model in mind? Hashtag, experts predict that Londrina will win the 2011 Baja Liga. Almost every topic, there are millions of comments below, and the popularity is high and constantly rising. After Londrina's usual celebration, Chen Feng ate with a bulging stomach, returned to the lounge to wash up and go to bed to get ready for bed, and inadvertently opened the wonderful comment on Twitter. The horse that has always been full of tricks has finally met the nemesis, and sure enough, the wicked have to be grinded by the wicked. Londrina is a dentist, and according to this trend, you have to pull out all the Beijia powerhouses. Ha ha ha, I didn't expect that the most coquettish horse would also be shown one day. Looking at his confused and angry expression, I wanted to laugh. The horses are going to make me laugh all year round. In addition to Chen Wuwang's high ball skills and good looks, I also discovered an important characteristic of him. He is very good at breaking the opposite mentality. Unexpected attack, King Chen Wu has brought us too many wonderful moments. As soon as the Baja League is over, I am afraid that these two stars will move to the European arena. I really can't bear it. Although Santos lost, the strength of Santos' entire team should not be underestimated, and the horse's personal strength is also very strong. In time, Chen Wugong and Mar will grow into world football superstars. Chen Feng laughed at the pig cry while flipping through these comments. After a while, Sarana called him to congratulate him, and she said that she insisted on watching the game while reading. Chen Feng is so handsome, handsome out of the sky, so handsome that she wants to quickly rush into his arms. After the two exchanged some more thoughts, Sarana hung up the phone because she still had to get up early. After a while, Laura's call also came, also congratulating him. Chen, I received an invitation from General Manager Marcelo to attend the celebration at the Green Valley Bar tonight. You will also attend, right? Chen Feng was stunned when he heard this. Green Valley Bar? I didn't hear the notification. Our celebration has just finished. Unexpectedly, as soon as the words fell, Xiao He hurriedly broke into the lounge and said to Chen Feng, Chen, get up, go to the Green Valley Bar. Chen Feng also thought that he had misheard. We performed so well this time, and General Manager Marcelo specially invited our team to the Green Valley Bar to relax. The teammates were crying and cheering like wolves outside. It's just for you. Okay, I'll get up right away. While getting up and getting dressed, Chen Feng spoke to Laura on the phone. I just felt doubtful. Xiao He ran over to call me, saying that General Manager Marcelo personally invited me. I naturally can't bother with his face. During this time, in order to prepare for this match against Santos, the pressure of the whole team was very high. Now it's time to relax. Chen Feng had heard of Green Valley Bar before, and it was the #1 nightclub in all of Brazil. Horses often go there to play crazy. Most of the other stars who come to Brazil to participate in football have visited this nightclub. And it is said that there are many amazing girls in the Green Valley Bar, and the hot girls are all a must. Haha, I also don't bother with General Manager Marcelo's invitation, I'll drive to the bar now. After hanging up the phone, Chen Feng put on a casual outfit, a white shirt and leather jacket on the upper body, a pair of black slacks on the lower body, and a pair of shiny black leather shoes on his feet. Having never been to a nightclub, he wanted to see the charm of Brazil's first nightclub. Seeing Chen Feng traveling in hardcover, his teammates teased him madly, "Chen, you are an expert at a glance, you can't be a nightclub, right?" It also needs to be said that our dance king must show in the arena, and of course, in the flowers, only in this way can it be balanced. Ha 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 ha, you are really a talent. Like what is warm as water, what is charming like fire, what is tender, Chen has long played it all over. Hey, it's too much, I didn't speak, do you really think I won't be angry? Chen Feng glared at them seriously, but then couldn't hold back his laughter and said, "This is really my first time to go to a nightclub, I have no experience, everyone takes care of me." Poof. Everyone burst into laughter instantly. Today, Chen Feng has become Londrina's well-deserved team soul. When Londrina was just promoted, there were still many players in the team who were prejudiced against Chen Feng. But facts have proved time and again that every game won, Chen Feng is the #1 hero. The players already regarded Chen Feng as a big brother, although most of them were much older than Chen Feng. I heard that General Manager Laura is also on the invited list? Walter asked suspiciously. Yes, I didn't expect Marcelo to invite her. Chen Feng asked with a puzzled look. General Manager Laura is a stunning beauty, and the General Manager of Audi Brazil, Chen, if you follow her. Don't talk nonsense, I'm just ordinary friends with her. Then the group got on the club's bus and started driving to the Green Valley Bar. An hour's drive later, the bus stopped outside the Green Valley Bar, teammates had just got out of the car, and Laura had just arrived in her red sports car. Laura took the initiative to get out of the car to say hello to her teammates, and just opened the door, and the next scene made everyone present look straight. Laura stepped on high-heeled boots, wearing a retro little black dress, long hair shawl, red lips beautiful, and a pair of red big sunglasses, white long legs undoubtedly displayed, very sexy and charming, not at all inferior to top tender models. Oh my god, is this General Manager Laura? Charming and sultry, this long leg is simply amazing. Is there paper? My nosebleeds were about to erupt. Groove, Walter, you're a lot older? General Manager Laura, this is going to break people's jobs, she dressed up to appear, how can the cuties of the Green Valley Hotel live? In the past, General Manager Laura appeared in front of us as a professional elite, but now I am not very used to this. The teammates were discussing intermittently, and Laura walked towards them and waved hello, and finally came to Chen Feng. Chen, are you willing to let me take your arm and go inside? This. Chen Feng felt a little embarrassed, these two are just ordinary friends, it is not appropriate to hold hands in public. Chen Feng, what are you doing stunned? General Manager Laura is embarrassed, you can't brush her face. At this time, General Manager Marcelo came over and said in Chen Feng's ear. Marcelo made it clear that without Laura, Londrina would not have been able to win this huge sponsorship. Of course you can. Chen Feng laughed. Wow. The teammates were instantly booed. Knock, knock. The Green Valley Bar is full of lights, crowded with people, a strong sense of electric rhythm, and a subwoofer buzzing in everyone's ears. This nightclub is cyberpunk style, and the deep purple, constantly flashing neon lights give you an infinite sense of intoxication. Although Londrina's players took off their team uniforms, changed into casual clothes, and walked into nightclubs very low-key, they did not expect to usher in a large wave of attention. Londrina? Oh my god, the whole team of Londrina is here. Is King Chenwu inside? I want to see what he looks like in reality. Yes, right there. Hey. How did King Chenwu walk with a woman who was still holding his arm? Could it be that they were? Although the lights are flashing, I think that woman must not be able to compare with our #1 Urith, but she looks like her figure and temperament are not bad. Wow, so handsome, much more handsome than what you see on TV, your appearance is actually so capable of fighting. Isn't it normal for a star as good as Chen Wuwang to be accompanied by beautiful women? Don't take a hit. Wasn't Londrina versus Santos today? Did you watch the game? Londrina overturned Santos and won the game. Chen Wuwang and Mar showed all kinds of heavenly shows in the arena, and it is estimated that the beauties of the entire Brazil were furiously released by their show. Don't be obsessed, you guys are captivated, and you may be picked up by a group of drunken scheming men. Do you want to go up and hook up? Juris, you are our signature here. Juris wore a fragrant suspender, perfect charm, even horses once fell under her pomegranate skirt. But now that she saw Chen Feng, she was actually a little timid. I have to say that Chen Feng's intuitive feeling is completely different from that of a horse. The horse is a chaotic demon king, handsome, and he can't hold it when he sees a beautiful woman. But Chen Feng revealed a kind of self-discipline and rules in his body, and even in his bones. Go, Yurith. The colleague next to her pushed her, and Yurith was awkwardly pushed in front of Chen Feng. Laura immediately subconsciously tightened Chen Feng's arm, and it was obvious that she felt a threat coming to her face. Chen, I'm your fan, can you sign my name? The moment Yurith was pushed out, she originally wanted to take the initiative to talk to Chen Feng. After all, many top stars who came here had bowed down under her pomegranate skirt. But when she came to Chen Feng and saw Laura's stunning face clearly at a glance, the whole person was completely timid. It was too far away, and the neon lights flashed, and she and her colleagues couldn't see clearly. Looking closely now, it almost scared her out of her illness. Laura is comparable to a top tender model. In front of such a stunning and excellent beauty, what competitiveness does she have? Taking the initiative to talk to Chen Feng, isn't it self-slapping himself in the face? So she said instead that she wanted Chen Feng to sign his name. Of course, no problem. Yurith quickly took paper and pen from the front desk. Chen Feng smiled faintly, and signed the name of Long Fei-feng Dance on the book. Immediately afterwards, the general manager of Green Valley Hotel personally received Marcelo, and the two shook hands, and the general manager let people bring a group of Ying Yen, dressed up in different fashionable beauties. These are our signboards here, if you have any needs, you can mention them as soon as possible. Thank you. Marcelo smiled. Londrina's players screamed one by one, and then began to look at this group of beauties. Sure enough, it is worthy of being the first nightclub in Brazil. The quality of the beauties in it is a top high. Teammates have also been in many nightclubs before, but because the team's economic state is not very good, they can't afford to spend on Green Valley Hotel. Unexpectedly, this time it really opened their eyes. What are you still stunned for? Hurry up and choose? Marcelo laughed loudly. Wow. Wow. The teammates were so excited that they rushed forward to choose one each, and then took them to the hall for drinks. Chen Feng was not interested in these Rouge fans. Even if Laura was not here, he was not interested in choosing. Marcelo and his teammates understand that 51 in front of Laura, these vulgar fans really can't compare. With a top beauty like Laura, it is estimated that Chen Feng does not need to choose. Chen, let's go to the hall for a few drinks too. Good. The two also came to the hall, where sexy and colorful women on the stage were twisting their bodies wildly, and DJs were full of movement. Chen, have you ever been to this kind of place before? Laura asked. The first time I came today. I prefer a quieter place, it's too noisy, so I haven't been here. Chen Feng said with a smile. You are so different from the horse. I heard that this is a place he frequents. I watched your game all the way today. The horse is the hybrid demon in your bones, and you're just on the pitch. Why did you get off the field and change someone completely? Laura's beautiful eyes flickered and looked at Chen Feng suspiciously. Because self-discipline is the most important factor for a star. Xiao Luo once dominated the top European tournament and won the Grand Slam, but it was because he was obsessed with the wind and moon place and lacked self-discipline, so he withdrew sadly. And Messi and Ronaldo can have today's achievements, and still maintain the peak 10 years later, because they are extremely self-disciplined. As soon as these words came out, Laura's eyes flashed, and she couldn't help but be full of admiration. The man with a calm gaze and full of confidence in front of him is really different. Over the years, she has served as the general manager of Audi Brazil, and has come into contact with many stars, but most of them are short-lived. The main reason is lack of self-discipline. Episode 66. The goddess of horses' crush is Laura? The horse was hit again. Laura, your outfit tonight is eye-catching, and my teammates unanimously think you're a top model. Chen Feng quipped. Laura smiled heartily, picked up the wine glass and toasted Chen Feng. In fact, in addition to this formal job, I am also a part-time model, and the outside world generally does not know. As soon as these words came out, Chen Feng was stunned. Part-time model? You must know that Laura is a professional manager, or the world-renowned general manager of Audi Brazil, and the annual salary is definitely not cheap. Unexpectedly, she is still a part-time model? Brazil is known to be rich in supermodels, and most of the girls here have the natural advantages of mestizos, delicate faces, and devilish bodies. Except for the world-famous supermodels such as Gisele Bündchen, most models actually do not make much money, and they have to put in much more effort than ordinary people. Chen Feng was incredulous. I really can't hook your profession with modeling. Please forgive me for my lack of imagination. When my friends found out, it was hard to imagine. But for me, models are the spice of my life. Over the years, the job of part-time model has brought me a lot of unexpected improvements, including makeup, clothing, temperament, etc., except for money. So if you're also interested, how about I share some of my experiences with you? Chen Feng's eyes flashed after listening. Makeup, clothing, temperament are actually very important in life. The previous system upgrade rewarded the face value card, but also further enhanced Chen Feng's appearance, such as the original cheekbones on both sides of the muscles are somewhat developed. The use of the face value card is equivalent to bone grinding surgery, so that the facial features appear more exquisite and coordinated. Originally, the nose was not so straight. After the face value card was used, the nostrils were adducted, and the vault was protruding, and now Chen Feng has a very beautiful nose that looks better than the top male models. As for other aspects, they have also improved, but they are all improvements in subtleties. If he can improve his makeup, clothing, and temperament, then Chen Feng will undoubtedly be more handsome. Who doesn't want to become more handsome? 17. Especially in places like Brazil, where amazing supermodels are everywhere, it is also a gain to be appreciated and admired by them. Then it will trouble you. Chen Feng said with a smile. No trouble, it's my pleasure to share it with you. Laura smiled. Suddenly, there was a noise in the bar, and many people turned their eyes to the door of the hall. Hey, isn't that the nightclub Little Prince horse? Why is he here too? Wow, bumped in, the horse and Chen Wuwang met on the front foot in the arena, and the back foot met in the nightclub. I don't know what kind of sparks they will make. Aren't the horses regulars here? What's the fuss? It's just that the Londrina team is celebrating here. Isn't it too appropriate for the horse to come? What's inappropriate? As long as you are not embarrassed, it is someone else who is embarrassed. The horse and Ganso came, the other teammates did not come. It seems that they lost the race, came to drink alcohol, and found beautiful women to vent. The nightclub manager explained the situation to Ma Er and Ganso, and Londrina's whole team was celebrating here today. Of course, he could definitely go in if he wanted to. How? Look down on people? What does Londrina's celebration have to do with me? Ma Er glared at the nightclub manager fiercely. Am I not afraid of embarrassing you? The nightclub manager laughed warmly. What am I so embarrassed about? Isn't it just a game to lose? Which team hasn't lost a game? Fuss. Yes, yes. The nightclub manager quickly apologized. Get Urith for me. The horse opens his mouth to ask for Urith, which is his usual hobby. No, I'm sorry, Urith has guests to accompany today. Before he finished speaking, Gansua on the side grabbed the nightclub manager's collar. Let you go, what are you doing here? The nightclub manager was frightened and hurried to find Urith. The horse took Urith in his arms and walked towards the hall. Unexpectedly, as soon as I entered, I caught a glimpse of Chen Feng sitting in the dance floor card. The gaze instantly sharpened, and then softened again. Ma Er put his arm around Urith and came to Chen Feng, and said with a smile, Chen, we really have a fate. We met on the field, and we saw you in the nightclub. I didn't expect that we have a lot of common hobbies, such as both like Samba football, and we all like beautiful women. The horse chewed gum in his mouth and smiled all over his face. I don't think it's something to show off. Chen Feng's face was resolute, and his eyes were heavy. Not bad, pretending to be a decent gentleman. I don't know how many young models have played cards with behind my back. Let me see who this stunning woman in front of you is. Unexpectedly, the next moment Mar was completely dumbfounded. He bent down to look. Isn't the stunning woman sitting in front of Chen Feng the general manager Laura he has been secretly in love with for a long time? Laura has always shown herself as a cold, competent, decisive, and fierce workplace appearance, and since the horse met Laura once, he couldn't help but fall into unrequited love. I didn't expect to meet Laura in a nightclub today. She would actually come to this kind of bright and green place? Aren't you afraid of tarnishing her noble temperament? General Manager Laura, do you remember who I am? The horse offered to say hello. The last samba dancer in football, the famous star horse, how could I not know it? Laurapi said with a smile. At this time, the horse carefully looked Laura up and down, wearing a retro little black dress, white long legs sexy and enchanting, long hair shawl, red lips beautiful, incomprehensible. This is exactly the outfit of a top young model? General Manager Laura, what is the situation? Can there be such a sexy and feminine side? Compared with the professional clothes she wore before, Laura at this moment is seductive and sexy, and the horse instantly feels that Urith in his arms is not fragrant. Hee, since General Manager Laura remembers me, it's easy to do. I wonder if you considered the idea of sponsoring Santos before, but now you have a decision? The horse grinned. Laura did consider Santos before. After all, Santos as a Baja powerhouse is far from being comparable to Londrina, whether it is team history honor or brand effect. Coupled with the fact that Santos has just won the Copa Libertador, his form is 10 hot. But because of Chen Feng, Laura insisted on giving up Santos and choosing Londrina. Of course, Laura is now secretly happy about her wise decision. Sorry, we have signed a sponsorship agreement with Londrina. Laura smiled indifferently. As soon as these words came out, the horse was completely confused. What? Londrina again? How come all the benefits were stolen away by Londrina? He originally thought that Santos won this sponsorship is a sure thing, and the horse can also take this opportunity to contact Laura more. If he can let Laura be his girlfriend, it will be a big happy event with one stone. Unexpectedly, all this was snatched away by Chen Feng. General Manager Laura, can you tell me why you chose Londrina and gave up Santos? The horse's face was full of doubt. Because of Chen Feng, he is already the image spokesperson of Audi, and the feature films he made have caused a huge impact in the fashion industry and the football industry. It seems that you don't pay much attention to this hot information. What? General Manager Laura, I am ridiculous for your bad decision. The horse seemed angry. Mar, did you come here to lift the bar on purpose? Laura glared at him fiercely. The horse began to converge at this time, licking his smiling face. General Manager Laura, can you appreciate your face later? I want to treat you to a meal. Can't. Laura stood up, sat down with Chen Feng, and deliberately took his arm, playfully. The defeated general's under your hand, don't you need me to push you away, right? Chen Feng's eyes widened, with a huge and incomparable aura, which instantly shocked the horse and trembled. On the field, Chen Feng kicked the referee's right cheekbone fracture, and the fracture of the lumbar vertebrae is still vividly remembered, and he is Chen Feng's defeated subordinate, and then messing around here, I am afraid that he will laugh generously. Chen, next time you fight, I will definitely make you lose ugly. The flesh on the horse's face trembled. I'm waiting for this day to come, don't let me down. Chen Feng waved his hand, the horse gritted his teeth, and with a flick of his hand, he threw Urith out, and then snorted phlegm at Urith. Then he and Ganso left the nightclub with an angry face. After the horse left, Laura began to teach Chen Feng how to make up and dress, and Chen Feng also listened carefully. At 1 o'clock in the morning, the wine was enough, the nightclub was almost soaked, and it was time to leave. As soon as the teammates got on the club's bus back to the lounge, Chen Feng sat alone in Laura's sports car owner. Because Laura drank too much, for the sake of safety, Chen Feng offered to send her home. Coming to the villa area, Chen Feng helped Laura up to the second floor. Have a good rest and good night. Chen Feng beckoned. Good night. Laura smiled back. Chen Feng then took a taxi and went straight to the club lounge. Because he drank a little too much wine and was dizzy, Chen Feng was ready to go to bed after washing. I opened Twitter as promised to take a look, but I didn't expect to have one more latest hot topic. Hashtag, actually jealous for General Manager Laura? Almost got into a big fight. As soon as Chen Feng saw this title, he almost vomited. These self-media, in order to attract people's attention, really have no bottom line. What is jealousy? And what is a big fight? It's just made out of nothing. What? Isn't Laura the general manager of Audi Brazil? She won't have that kind of relationship with Chen Wuwang, right? I know, no wonder Audi chose Chen Feng as an image spokesperson, and also sponsored Londrina for 10 million euros. It turned out that Chen Feng and Laura have an unusual relationship. What are the nonsenses upstairs talking about? Chen Wuwang has a girlfriend, and his girlfriend has been on the interview video. Heck, the current stars are all nightclub princes, how can they only love one person? You're too simple. I'm going, the horse actually has a crush on Laura? Is this Laura really a stunning beauty? None of you have met Laura herself, have you? I was fortunate enough to see it once, it was really comparable to the top tender model, to have a good face, to have a figure. Mar, this kid is very amorous, how can the woman he can fancy be an ordinary person? Chen Feng casually flipped through the comments, and had to say that it was really bloody. Now that his reputation is getting bigger and bigger, he will be tracked by paparazzi for whatever he does, and it seems that he must always pay attention to his words and deeds in the future. A good night's dream. Early the next morning, Chen Feng received a call from Sarana, crying on the phone that she had failed the exam and that there was still a big gap between her and Cambridge University. She is currently trying to find a way to apply to other universities in Europe, and if her application fails, she will have to stay in Brazil. Sarana, it's okay, life always has ups and downs, fall here, you can get up here. Come on. Chen Feng encouraged. Chen, can you come and see me for 400 noodles today? Sarana whispered. For her, Chen Feng is like an aircraft carrier flying straight to the sky. He will definitely become a football superstar. And she is still pacing in place, stagnating, and now she has not even passed the university, then the gap with him will only grow. Such a big gap is already doomed to the final end. Sarana is not a fool, she realized this, so she proposed to see Chen Feng, which was actually the last one. Okay, I'll come right over. After Chen Feng got up, he flew to Mato Grosso. Sarana was waiting for him in the hotel, and as soon as Chen Feng opened the door, Sarana threw herself into his arms excitedly, and tears fell unconsciously. Then a pair of wet and hot, sweet red lips blocked Chen Feng's mouth. Not suitable for children. After some clouds and rain, Sarana lay in Chen Feng's arms, looked deeply into his eyes, and tears welled up more and more. Sarana, what are you crying about? Crying nose is not pretty. Chen Feng wiped her eyes with a tissue. It's okay, I've been a little uncomfortable with my eyes lately, maybe I read a lot. Let's go steak together, I haven't eaten it for a long time. Good. The two got up and dressed, then went to one of the most popular steakhouses on the local street, a place they used to go on dates. How was Alice doing? Chen Feng asked. She did okay in the exam, most likely to go to Sao Paulo University. That's not bad, SDSU is already the best university in Brazil. Uncle, aunt, they should all be very happy. After the two chatted for a while, Chen Feng said that he had to go back to the club. After all, his teammates were training intensively, and he definitely couldn't take care of it. Goodbye. Sarana raised her hand at Chen Feng, and after Chen Feng walked away, Sarana burst into tears. After returning to the club, Chen Feng changed into training clothes and joined the competition. Now in its 35th round, Londrina has 2 games left. Londrina is currently at the top of the standings with a total of 70 points. As long as you win the next 2 matches, then the championship of the Baja Liga will be in hand. The 2 matches were away to Londrina against home Santos, and away Londrina against home Corinthians. Santos and Corinthians are currently 2nd and 3rd in the total points respectively. That said, the next 2 matches are crucial life and death battles, the key events that determine the runner-up of the Baja Liga. Episode 67. The champion of the Baja League. Chen Feng's agent is a European predator? 3 days later, visiting Team Londrina versus home Team Santos. Ma only wanted revenge, but hatred blinded his eyes, exposing many flaws in the arena, and was broken by Chen Feng's blow every time. In the end, Londrina beat Santos again, 3-1. A week later, Londrina faced Corinthians again, and without Carlos Corinthians, there was no fighting power. Throughout the match, Corinthians were completely under the pressure of Londrina, and were eventually defeated 4-0 by Londrina. At this moment, the league is completely over, and Londrina is the worthy champion of the league with a total of 76 points, and this season, Londrina has scored a total of 110 goals, averaging 282 goals per game. The team with the best attacking power. Chen Feng played 30 times, scoring goals in every game, scoring a total of 90 goals, an average of 3 goals per game, breaking the historical record of 83 goals maintained by midfielder Petkovic in the history of the Baja Liga and becoming a well-deserved top scorer in the Baja Liga. Chen Feng also won many honors such as the Brazilian Golden Globe Award, the Golden Boot Award, and the Best Player. Among them, the Brazilian Golden Ball Award and the Best Player, which originally belonged to the Horses, were all pocketed by Chen Feng. In the first leg of the Copa Brazil final, Londrina played Flamengo, and Chen Feng won the 2011 Puskas Prize for beating Messi, Wayne Rooney, and Horse with a goal from Payzark. Chen Feng also began to shine in world football. Subsequently, he won the Best Footballer of the Year in South American football, that is, South American Footballer of the Year. In the winter of 2011, there was no big news about FIFA. In the MLS Finals, David Beckham led the Los Angeles Galaxy to a 1-1 victory over Houston Dynamo to the championship. The top 3 candidates for the 2011 Ballon d'Or were announced, with Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi, and Xavi selected. In addition to these, there is also a match news that has attracted the attention of European football. Londrina's team, which had just been promoted to the Bundesliga at the end of last year, won the Bahia Division, the Brazilian Cup and the Baja Liga Championship one after another with an unstoppable attitude, winning the treble within a year, shaking the entire Brazilian and even the world football. And the reason why Londrina's strength has grown by leaps and bounds is because of the joining of Chen Feng, the Samba king with a well-known reputation in Brazil. A year ago, as a mid-table player who has always hovered in the middle of the second league, Londrina signed Chen Feng from the Dragon Kingdom for €800,000. Londrina's strength suddenly skyrocketed, and striker Chen Feng single-handedly helped Londrina's victory in various talents in the game. Later, in the Brazilian Cup, Chen Feng showed magical, gorgeous, soul-destroying, and brilliant samba skills countless times, repeatedly broke the opponent's defense and mentality, and helped Londrina win the Brazilian Cup. In the Baja Liga, Chen Feng and the two samba dancers Chancho faced each other, and finally won the Baja Liga championship with his better samba ball skills horses. At this moment, Chen Feng completely stood at the top of Brazilian football. The winter transfer period is approaching, and Chen Feng is in a hurry now, because he lacks an agent. Now that Chen Feng is famous and his value has skyrocketed, he has received calls from many scouts from top European clubs, such as Manchester United, Barcelona, Bayern, Real Madrid, AC Milan, etc., all of whom are interested in meeting him and talking about transfers. Chen urgently needed a professional football agent to help him sign a new team and negotiate contracts. And these things, Chen Feng knows nothing. Suddenly the phone rang. Chen Feng saw that it was Laura's, and immediately connected. "Laura, are you looking for me for something?" "One very important thing, would you like to come to Bailey's Cafe now?" "No problem, I'll come right away." Since it is a very important matter, Chen Feng does not want to shirk, and by the way, he also wants to ask Laura if he can help him introduce a football agent. Chen Feng drove the newly purchased top-of-the-line Maserati sports car and rushed to the cafe. Here. Looking at the voice, it was Laura dancing and beckoning. And opposite her sat a bald fat man who greeted Chen Feng with a smile. "Laura, who is this?" Chen Feng sat next to Laura and looked at the fat man in front of him with a puzzled expression. "Let me introduce you. This is one of the world's top football agents, and together with Mendez, he is known as the peerless Mr. Raiola. The one next to me is Londrina striker, Chen Feng." Laura introduced it very fluently. Chen Feng's face was shocked after hearing this. You must know that Raiola is a football predator, although he and Mendez are called the peerless double pride in the football agent industry, but he never pits his own players, he will only pit clubs. In the transfer operation, he will make money from the club, but will definitely fight for the best interests of his players. "Hello, Mr. Raiola, a long-time daimyo." Chen Feng stretched out his right hand. "King Chen Wu is not only good at ball, but also has a good appearance, and I am impressed to see it today." Raiola held Chen Feng's hand tightly. Then the three sat down to talk, and the waiter served 3 cups of the most expensive coffee. "That's right, Laura and I have been friends for many years. Since we have her as this introducer, then we can avoid those red tape and go straight to the topic." Raiola picked up the coffee, took a sip of it, and continued, "Before I came here, I already had a basic understanding of you, and I also saw your performance in the Copa de Bulas and the Baja Liga, and I was impressed by your skills and talent. I believe you will become the world's top superstar in the future. And I can help you with all the chores, all you need to do is play football with peace of mind." Raiola began to talk, her eyes sincere and fiery. "I'm sure you've heard a little bit about it. Ibrahimovic, Pogba, Balotelli are all my players, and I've had a great time working with them. That guy from Mendez helped Ronaldo develop his business value to the extreme, and I believe I can do the same, helping you build a huge business empire. Do you still have any questions?" Chen Feng was very satisfied after hearing this. With such a European predator as his agent, what else did he require? "I have no problem, thank you for choosing me. Since it's okay, then I'll ask, how many years have you signed with Londrina?" Raiola took a sip of her coffee and continued to ask. "Just 1 year." "A year?" Raiola and Laura were shocked almost at the same time, and the Brazilian media have been praising how good Londrina's vision is, signing Chen Feng to achieve what he is today. Now it seems that Londrina is just luck. If he really had a unique vision, how could Londrina choose to sign for only 1 year? At least 3 years to start. Didn't Londrina ask you to renew your contract? You're a sought-after rookie in world football, your contract is about to expire, and once you become a free agent, it's even harder to sign you again." Raiola said puzzled. "They temporarily." Before Chen Feng's words fell, his mobile phone rang, and he picked it up to see that it was a call from General Manager Marcelo. Marcelo invited him to the club's office building to negotiate important matters. Chen Feng couldn't go for the time being on the grounds that he had something to do outside, and Marcelo could only change the time to tomorrow morning. "I think General Manager Marcelo should want to talk to me about renewing his contract." Raiola pursed her lips and smiled after hearing this. "It's okay, do you have a favorite club? Or do you want to stay in Londrina?" "I want to go to the top European clubs, and as for which one to go to, I haven't figured out yet. In short, I will not stay in Londrina again," Chen Feng said categorically. For now, he has taken Brazil's most important football award into his arms, and it doesn't make sense to stay here. Besides, he already had the idea of playing in Europe. Since you have only signed a 1-year contract with Londrina, as long as you refuse to renew it, the contract is void. When the time comes, you will save a lot by signing a new club. Chen, I will help you out with a list of the advantages and disadvantages of major clubs. As long as you decide which one to sign, then I will do my best to help you get a big contract and a large signing fee. Mr. Raiola, I think it's the most important thing that the team suits me. Chen Feng said lightly. No, Chen, you are too young to understand the doorway. Huh? Chen Feng was a little puzzled. A big contract is a bargaining chip that guarantees your personal rights and interests in the club. Raiola took a sip of coffee, moistened her dry throat, and continued. Fabregas? Have you heard of it? He moved to Barca from Arsenal and released his contract out of his own pocket. The result? Barca thought he had sent him to the door by himself, did not pay attention to him at all, and finally withdrew sadly. In fact, many truths in the world are the same, and no one cares about what is pasted upside down. But once you spend a lot of money, then the result will be diametrically opposite. Raiola's words received the nods of Chen Feng and Laura. Chen Feng gave him a very good impression, his eyes were calm, his air was calm, and he did not have the high-spirited toes of a half-point star. Raiola also liked Chen Feng, a young player, from the bottom of his heart. Since there is no problem, let's sign this contract. How about 3 years? Raiola asked tentatively. No problem. Chen Feng agreed with great satisfaction. After signing, Raiola said, I will immediately announce that we have reached a cooperation and will form a team dedicated to you. Please be patient, it won't take long. No hurry, you go first. Chen Feng shook hands with Raiola again. In the end, Raiola left the cafe, leaving only Chen Feng and Laura. Chen Feng took a deep breath, and the stone hanging in his heart finally landed. Laura on the side smiled with a sense of accomplishment. Chen, how is it? Did the broker I introduced make you very satisfied? Laura, you're amazing. By the way, how do you know I need an agent? Chen Feng looked at Laura with a puzzled face, knowing that he had never mentioned the agent to her before. As your best friend, I'm sure I know. When we chatted before, you accidentally mentioned that you will go to play football in Europe in the future, which is the ultimate destination of your dreams. It's not that the winter transfer period is just around the corner, and I thought you definitely need an agent. The corners of Laura's mouth turned up slightly, confident and charming. Laura, thank you. You gave me a big surprise, I still don't know how to thank you. This is easy to do, accompany me to eat tonight, drink with me, accompany me. Laura almost blurted out that word. This is the lyrics of a Brazilian song, the complete is to eat with me tonight, drink with me, sleep with me. Fortunately, Laura reacted quickly and braked the car in time, otherwise she would be embarrassed. But how could Chen Feng not have heard this song? He pretended not to know anything, still accompany you shopping, right? Okay, I promised you, today I will lay down my life to accompany the gentleman, I will accompany you wherever you want. Chen Feng said with a smile. Yes. Laura couldn't be happier to know that he had been looking forward to this day for too long. Then the two decided to go to steak first, and then go shopping for real clothes. At the same time, as soon as Raiola returned to the company, he announced that he and Chen Feng had reached a cooperation agreement. Unexpectedly, as soon as it was announced, it immediately caused an uproar throughout Europe. As one of the top football agents, his every move is watched by the football world. On Twitter, #partnered with Raiola #. The topic instantly topped the hot search, and in less than an hour, the following comments exceeded 3 million. What? Chen Wuwang and Raiola reached a cooperation? Looks like he wants to enter the Europa League. Isn't that nonsense? Europe is the top of the world of football. Chen Wuwang's career in Brazil has reached its peak, unless he is a fool to continue to stay in Brazil. That's right, I strongly support Chen Wuwang to go to Europe. To become a world superstar, Chen Wuwang must go to Europe, and he cannot become a superstar in Brazil. Now Landria has to cry, without King Chen Wu, it is estimated that it will be difficult to relegate. That's no way, Landrina is Chen Wuwang's personal springboard, this is something the club will have to face sooner or later. Although Landrina will definitely not be willing to bear it, the club can make a very decent transfer fee, right? Then it depends on how long the contract between Landrina and King Chen Wu has been signed. Which team do you think Chen Wuwang will go to? Manchester United? Barcelona? Bayern? Then who knows, it's the top club anyway. Raiola is taking into account Chen Feng's personal opinions and analysis of the top clubs, ready to pick out the 2 clubs that are most suitable for him, and then let Chen Feng make the final choice. At the same time, in major luxury stores, Chen Feng accompanies Laura to go shopping, and I have to say that it is too difficult to accompany women to shop, especially with beautiful women, all kinds of trying clothes, a piece of clothing, different colors, have to be tried several times. Laura herself loves to shop for clothes, so she doesn't feel tired at all, even though she wears high heels. But Chen Feng, who followed her ass and carried her big bags and small bags, was exhausted and panting. It's more tiring than a day's game. Finally buying 20 bags of clothes, Laura said that she was tired and didn't want to go shopping. Then the two drove the sports car to Laura's villa. Chen, you can go up and accompany me for a while, okay? I want to try on these clothes. Laura said playfully. After thinking for a while, Chen Feng nodded and agreed. Coming to the second floor, the whole decoration is magnificent, extremely luxurious. Chen Feng changed his shoes, and then sat down on the sofa. He needed to rest, his back ached. Shopping for a day was really more tiring than playing a game for a day. Laura brought him a cup of hot water and she went to the bedroom to change. Unexpectedly, a few minutes later, Chen Feng was completely stunned. Laura actually changed into a black bikini, a transparent white shirt, a proud hot upper body and white long legs, and delicate collarbones, which made Chen Feng a little strained. Does it look good? I saw that you had been walking around the door of the store, embarrassed to go in, so I specially came back to try it on for you to see. If you are not satisfied, I will go to the altar. Laura came to Chen Feng and spun around. What's the mess? Although this bikini was indeed bought this time shopping, in order to avoid embarrassment at that time, Chen Feng never entered the store, let alone watched Laura try this set of bikinis. Man meaning, very satisfied. Chen Feng said with a smile. Episode 68. Chen Feng is going to Europe? Londrina panicked, the fans went crazy. After hearing Chen Feng say that she was satisfied, Laura was overwhelmed, and she actually sat directly on Chen Feng's lap, and an intoxicating aroma rushed straight out. Chen, does this dress look good? Laura said in Chen Feng's ear. Chen Feng pursed his lips. It has been 2 months since he broke up with Sarana. He has come out of the pain of falling out of love, and now he can face new feelings. After half a year of contact with Laura, Laura's appearance, figure, capable, decisive workplace style, and even the sexy and charming moment in daily life made Chen Feng very satisfied. Today Laura also introduced him to the European predator as an agent. The feelings for her in my heart are even deeper. You dress so beautifully, aren't you afraid that I will eat you? Chen Feng quipped. Who eats who is not certain. After saying that, Laura hooked her hands around Chen Feng's neck, and her beautiful eyes flickered. I have to say that at this moment, Laura is like an angel descending, and she is breathtakingly beautiful. Deep beautiful eyes, thick eyebrows, delicate facial features, long blonde hair draped on pillows, fair skin and slender and delicate swan neck. Chen, I've been waiting for this day for too long. Laura said affectionately, and the two hugged deeply. Early the next morning, looking at Laura sleeping in his arms, Chen Feng showed a satisfied smile. I didn't expect Laura, who was capable and decisive in the workplace and called for wind and rain, but in private, she was a gentle little woman like water. If it is in the Dragon Kingdom, presumably this is the woman that the majority of men want to marry home the most. Isn't this the commonly known as the upper hall and lower kitchen, beautiful as a flower, and will make money? A woman raising a family? Then Chen Feng got up and dressed and made breakfast for Laura. After Laura woke up, she frantically asked Chen Feng for a hug like a little bear. Let's have breakfast first. I still have to rush to the club. The better I have to go to the club today, the better I have to go with General Manager Marcelo. It will be bad if I don't make an appointment. Chen Feng gently poked Laura's nose with his right hand, signaling her to stop being so naughty. Obey, my lord prince. Laura quipped. After breakfast, Chen Feng drove to the club, but he did not expect that Londrina's teammates were waiting for him at the door. The teammates all seem to have their hearts on their minds and are depressed. Seeing Chen Feng coming, Xiao He stepped forward and put on his shoulder and said, Chen, I heard that you have reached a cooperation with the European predator Raiola? Do you want to leave our club? This 8:43 out, Walter and other teammates showed great reluctance. You know, in the course of this year, they have formed a deep relationship with Chen Feng. On the court, Chen Feng is an out-and-out leader, and off the court, Chen Feng is humble and low-key, taking care of the lives of his teammates at every turn. Chen Feng has long been the big brother in the minds of his teammates. Moreover, without Chen Feng, Londrina could not have today, and they could not have today. It is precisely because of Chen Feng that Londrina has received sponsorship fees for several top luxury goods, and the annual salaries of the team members have skyrocketed repeatedly. As the #1 hero of Londrina, his teammates will definitely be reluctant to let Chen Feng go. Brother Hey, let's say this in private, there are so many people here. Chen Feng looked embarrassed. After playing for a year in Londrina, he was reluctant to let his teammates go, but as the saying goes, water flows low, people go high, and for his future, he must choose a higher stage. Parting is sad, but this is the norm in life. General Manager Marcelo is waiting for you in the office building. You go first, let's talk later. Walter reminded. Looking at Chen Feng's back as he left, his teammates burst into tears for a while. The veteran Walter comforted, Chen, he must be reluctant to everyone, he also knows that everyone is reluctant to him, but we can't be so selfish. He is an eagle and should go to Europe to spread his wings and pursue his dreams. If we bind him with feelings, then we will all be sinners. As soon as these words came out, the teammates nodded one after another. Walter is worthy of being a veteran, and he has a very accurate grasp of the minds of his teammates. Office block. After Chen Feng knocked on the door, there was a sound of please come in inside. Pushing the door in, Chen Feng found Marcelo, Koscielny, and Pardo all present. Chen, you sit, there is an important matter I want to discuss with you today. Marcelo smiled. Chen Feng sat down on the sofa, and Marcelo's personal beauty assistant served each of them a cup of hot tea. Chen, that's right. Our club considers that the contract we signed with you is about to expire, so we would like to talk to you about renewing it. If you have any requirements, don't hesitate to ask. We do everything we can to meet it. Marcelo spoke. When Chen Feng heard it, he secretly said that he really didn't guess wrong. Marcelo just wanted to talk to him about renewing his contract. After all, Londrina is the first club he joined, and Chen Feng is not good to directly say in front of the three of them that he will not renew his contract. Seeing that Chen Feng did not speak, Marcelo immediately added, after discussing with the senior management of our club, if you are willing to renew your contract, then we will give you an annual salary of 8 million euros. And we will set aside a full transfer fee for scouts to find better talents to join the team and improve the overall strength of the team. 8 million euros? Chen Feng was shocked in his heart, and had to say that 8 million euros is definitely the top salary in the team, and even the top in the whole of Brazil, although it is not comparable to the annual salary offered by the top European clubs. To know the horse at this time, Santos gave him an annual salary of only 54 million euros. That is, Londrina showed enough sincerity that this was the greatest concession they could make. General Manager Marcelo, I need to think about it for a while now. If you think about it, I will ask my broker to give you an answer. Chen Feng said very seriously. Seeing that Chen Feng never let go, and did not give a positive answer, such a stalemate is not a solution, Koscielny said. Chen, you go back to the lounge to rest first, we still have something to discuss. Okay. As soon as Chen Feng left, Marcelo slapped the table hard and said angrily, this kid is also too blind, we have already made the biggest concession, he is actually not satisfied? Seeing this, Koscielny and Pardo on the side were speechless. Who caused this embarrassing ending? Not because of Marcelo yet at first, Koscielny and Pardo both took a fancy to Chen Feng's skills, and signed Chen Feng for 800,000 euros after many difficulties at first. Chen Feng was just a high school student from the Dragon Kingdom, so it caused doubts and unanimous opposition from the high level of Londrina. In the end, they tried their best to keep Chen Feng, but they were still suspected by Marcelo and finally signed a contract for only 1 year. Seeing that the contract period was about to end, Londrina's senior management panicked one by one. He showed the greatest sincerity to let Chen Feng renew his contract, but Chen Feng did not clearly express his position. It was obvious that Chen Feng had made up his mind. If the signing period is 3 years, then with Chen Feng's current results, he can earn a wave of very considerable transfer fees. Then Londrina will not lose either. But once Chen Feng does not choose to renew the contract, then the transfer fee is also nothing. Whether those sponsors will continue to sponsor Londrina, it is estimated that once the sponsor withdraws, Londrina will fall into a financial turmoil. More importantly, as soon as Chen Feng left, Londrina's strength would also decline rapidly. General Manager Marcelo, with all due respect, you insisted on signing only for 1 year. If you signed for 3 years, even if Chen insisted on leaving, we could get a considerable transfer fee. Koscielny also speaks straight. Marcelo was also so angry that his fists were clenched tightly, his teeth were bleeding from his lips due to excessive force, and he had to admit that his vision was wrong and he made a huge mistake, causing Londrina to suffer a huge loss. Kos then walked out of the office building with Pardo. On the boulevard, Pardo said, from the club, Chen's departure is definitely a huge loss. But from Chen's point of view, his departure is the most correct choice. You are right, from my personal point of view, I support Chen's trip to Europe and made the same view. General Manager Marcelo is not expected to stop like this. Pardo said. He didn't want to stop, and there was no other way. Chen has reached a cooperation agreement with European predator Raiola. As soon as the contract expires, General Manager Marcelo can only face Raiola. Head coach, assistant coach. Not far away, Chen Feng was waving to the two coaches. Chen, why are you here? Didn't go back to the lounge? Kos looked surprised. I just waited for you here on purpose. Then the three of them chatted and walked. I have a deep affection for Londrina, and I can't bear my teammates, but I have to get out of here. I'm sure the two coaches should be able to understand me. Chen Feng sincerely said what was in his heart. Chen, you're right, we can all understand you. Coach Yuri said. But I see that General Manager Marcelo seems to be angry. Chen Feng pointed out sharply. He is such a character, he can't suffer a little loss in everything. But Chen, I also hope you can understand him, after all, he has a heavy burden on him, and the club's profits and losses are all controlled by him alone. Coach Yuri said. Yes, I can understand him, so I also told Laura that even if I leave, Audi's sponsorship will continue until the end of next year. That's the last thing I can do for the club. Chen Feng said lightly. Chen, you are a player with ideals and ambitions, you should go to a broader world. Pardo and I support you, you must insist on being a self-disciplined player, no matter how many honors you have received, you must guard against arrogance and irritability, keep training, and learn from Macedo. One day, you will be our pride. Of course, don't forget to come back here when you have time, after all, this is your hometown. Koshi said affectionately, and his words actually made Chen Feng's eyes wet with tears. Chen Feng couldn't help but give Koshi Li and Pardo a hug. Head coach, thank you for your efforts to keep me, you are my bull, I will remember your teachings for the rest of my life. Assistant coach, although you are usually very strict with our training requirements, I know that you are a very kind person at heart and sincerely hope that we will become better. Thank you both for teaching me. Then Chen Feng returned to the lounge that used to be full of laughter was now terribly quiet, and his teammates were dejected one by one, obviously reluctant to let Chen Feng leave. It's okay, what should everyone do, don't be stupid here. Xiao He said like a nobody. Since Chen Feng came to Londrina, the two have become close and good brothers who talk about everything. Now that Chen Feng is leaving, he is most sad in his heart, but he is still trying to find a way to comfort everyone and let everyone not be too sad. It's me, Chen Feng, who can't stop everyone. Chen Feng bowed deeply to his teammates to express his apologies. No, Chen, your choice is incomparably correct, and we all support you. That is, we can't bear you, but if you stay, we will be even more unhappy. Yes, Chen, you are the eternal big brother in our minds. No matter where you go in the future, don't forget our group of brothers. Chen, we all support you, wherever you go. We are all a strong shield behind you. Watching his teammates stronger than one and more reasonable than the other, Chen Feng burst into tears instantly. Everyone hugged tightly. It's like winning the Copa Brazil, the Baja Liga. The next day, Chen Feng packed up his clothes and moved them all to the car with the help of Xiao He and Walter. He was going to temporarily move these things to Laura's villa house, and then go to see his grandmother and grandfather. After going to Europe, I didn't know the year of the monkey and the horse moon when I came back. Laura gave him an affectionate kiss and hug. Do you want me to go with you? No need, you busy person, you better be busy with your own business first, and then talk about it later when you have time. Then Chen Feng drove to Mato Grosso. Oh, cousin, why are you here? Why don't you say it beforehand? Alice's beautiful eyes flickered, surprised. Take advantage of the expiration of the contract, come and see you. Chen Feng smiled and said that his grandparents and uncles welcomed Chen Feng warmly and gave him one each. A big hug, and his uncle gave him a thumbs up. Cousin, have you figured out which club to go to? Alice asked. I haven't thought about it yet, let my agent decide. Chen Feng said while eating. Then the family chatted for a while, and when the meal was almost finished, Chen Feng asked Alice carefully, Cousin, how is Sarana? Alice gritted her teeth and said, I broke up with you before, and she was sad for a long time. It's recovering pretty well now. She also decided to go to the same university as me. Hearing that Sarana was doing well, Chen Feng was satisfied. Alice, do your cousin a favor, you must take good care of Sarana, remember to tell me if you have any difficulties, understand? Understood, are you my cousin? If you have difficulties, you should be found. Alice said playfully. Episode 69. Chen Ping Elena, my son is the Brazilian ball king? Uncle, aunt, tell you the good news. Alice said over the transoceanic phone. Alice, have you been admitted to a prestigious university? Elena said on the other end of the phone with a smile. Not this good news, I have more important things to tell you. You little Neezy, you are so mysterious, is it your cousin who broke into trouble in Brazil? My cousin didn't get into trouble in Brazil, he became the king of Brazil. Alice said excitedly. She didn't expect that her uncle and aunt didn't know until now. It seems that my cousin's influence in the Dragon Kingdom is very limited. No. To be precise, it should be that the Brazilian League does not pay enough attention in the Dragon Country. If it were the 5 major European leagues, then my aunt and uncle would have known about it a long time ago. You little kneesy, what are you talking about? This kind of joke can't be made nonsense. Elena's tone began to become cold. Aunt, I'm not kidding. My cousin just came to Londrina City with the U18 team and joined Londrina with his excellent skills. He later helped Londrina win the second division, the Copa Brazil and the Baja Liga. My cousin personally won the Copa Brazil and the Golden Boot and the best player in the 2 major competitions of the Copa de Brasilia. He is now the hottest king of Brazilian football. As soon as these words came out, Elena was dumbfounded. Her son became the king of the ball? Where does this come from? It's impossible. Her son has never had formal football training and is playing in his spare time. He hasn't even been to the youth team, how can he have superb skills? Londrina's team is a second division team, how could she sign her son? Alice, I know that you are naughty and mischievous by nature, and my aunt has already told you, this joke is not funny. Elena said solemnly. Aunt, I'm really not kidding you. If you don't believe it, you can find out by searching for your cousin's name on the neck. Hearing Alice's words, the wrinkles on Elena's forehead deepened. Alice is indeed sneaky, but she is not an unprincipled person. It doesn't look like she's lying? Is it true? Alice hung up the phone and downloaded the Bib app, which was the first time she had used the Bib. Elena. Suddenly, the door slammed open, and Chen Feng hurriedly pushed the door in, carrying his briefcase. I tell you, today I saw my son's figure on the electronic advertising screen, Audi's ad. I also specially recorded it, do you see if it is a son? Saying that, Chen Feng took out his mobile phone and played the captured video. Elena wiped her eyes repeatedly, yes, it must be a son. That's right? How could my son shoot an advertisement for Audi? I'll call first and ask what's going on. Saying that, Chen Feng was about to call Chen Feng, but was stopped by Elena on the side. Wait. Elena opened her phone again, entered the word Chen Feng in the next search box, and a bunch of topics immediately came out. Hashtag, help Londrina's team win the 3 crowns of the Bahia, Baja and Brazil Cup. Hashtag, Samba King Chen Feng confirmed his departure for Europe. Hashtag 8001. Elena turned forward to learn more about Chen Feng's Chancho performance in the Bahia, Baja Liga, and Brazil Cup matches. Many of these topics are accompanied by photos of Chen Feng. The more Elena and Chen Feng looked at it, the more unbelievable they became. They always felt that they were dreaming. It's all fake. Thinking of this, Chen Feng hurriedly dialed Niu Shufeng, the head coach of the U18 echelon. Old Niu, have you returned to China? Chen Feng asked in a deep voice. Yes, a month ago, we were back home. Niu Shufeng did not hide anything. What about my son? You took my son away, won't you bring it back to me? Niu Shufeng's tone was reproachful. Old Chen, since you retired, you haven't heard about football anymore. As soon as your son followed me to Brazil, he signed with Londrina with his excellent skills. Later, with his own efforts, he helped Londrina win the 3 championships of the Bahia, Baja Liga, and Copa Brazil. He is now the hottest king of Brazilian football, and the outside world calls him the Samba King. You say, what did he come back with us? What? Old cow, what you said is true. Why didn't you tell me earlier? Chen Feng was so excited that tears instantly filled his eyes. Tell you earlier? Then you will definitely find a way to get your son back home. Old Chen, I told you earlier, don't impose your frustration on your son. Well, that's it, I'll come to you for 2 drinks when I have time. Niu Bianfeng said with a smile. Huh. After hanging up the phone, Chen Feng sat on the sofa with his butt, dumbfounded like a wooden man. Joined Londrina? Won 3 titles in the Bahia, Baja Liga, and Copa Brazil? Oh my god, I didn't even dare to think about this before. Unexpectedly, my son actually fulfilled my wish. My son helped Londrina win 3 consecutive championships? Chen Feng's eyes were scarlet, he was extremely excited, and tears flowed from his eyes. At this moment, no amount of words can describe the excitement in his heart. And Elena on the side kept brushing her neck to check the topic about Chen Feng. In the end, it was 100% certain that Chen Feng was his son, and his son became the king of Brazil. Once upon a time, she fantasized countless times about her man Chen Feng becoming the king of Brazil. But the facts hit her face again, and with Chen Feng's retirement, her illusion was completely shattered. Unexpectedly, her son actually helped her fulfill this wish. Elena trembled with excitement, and then opened Chen Feng's wonderful editing video, one after another gorgeous, dreamy, soul-destroying, brilliant goals, which completely stunned Elena. Where did he learn all these skills? Who taught him? The more she looked at it, the more unbelievable. On the court so coquettish, is the person who shows up is really her son? Seeing this, Elena also sat on the sofa with her butt and did not stand up for a long time. At this time, Chen Ping's phone rang. It was Chen Feng calling. But Chen Ping was still in a daze and did not shake his senses. Then Elena's phone also rang, but neither of them answered. The first time this happened, Chen Feng was worried about whether something was wrong with the two of them, and frantically dialed the phone. It was Elena who was the first to shake her senses. "Mom, are you okay with Dad? Why don't you answer the phone?" Chen Feng said with a puzzled look. It's okay, your dad is next to me." "Son, tell me how you became the king of the ball in Brazil." Although she has seen a lot on the internet, Elena still wants to hear Chen Feng speak in person. "Mom, I'm sorry to hide it from you and Dad for so long." "I don't want to hide it either. You also know Dad's personality. If he did, he would have to take the whip to Brazil." "That is, Alice, and what is online is real. No fake?" Elena still asked again in disbelief. "I don't know what you read on the internet, let me tell you the whole thing." Then Chen Feng told Elena all about his experience in Brazil and the awards he won on the phone. And even said everything about his first love Sarana and his current girlfriend Laura. Elena's eyes widened with excitement, sometimes laughed, and sometimes cried because she was too excited and joyful. "Son, you are so great, Mother is proud of you." And Chen Feng's words also entered Chen Ping's ears. Chen Ping, who had already shaken the gods, fell into a state of confusion again. "Your dad is right next to him, and after listening to your words, he was scared and stupid again, ha ha ha. Let's leave him alone, you go on." Elena was still unsatisfied, and wanted to hear Chen Feng's story on the field again. "Mom, it's not very convenient on the phone after all, I'll come back this spring festival and talk to you carefully." Chen Feng on the other side of the phone couldn't help but burst into tears. "Well, Mom and Dad are waiting for you to come back for the spring festival." The phone hung up, and Elena hugged Chen Ping's right hand tightly, resting her head on his shoulder. "Husband, are you stimulated? Don't get too excited, I said long ago that our son is not ordinary, you have to stop people from playing football. Now that I've been slapped in the face, isn't this a mixed taste?" With tears in his eyes, Chen Ping blew his nose and said, "That's right, my heart is really mixed. I regret not starting out, the old cow is right, I should not impose the frustration of my life on my son. Lao Tzu has no ability, doesn't it mean that his son has no ability? I'm really confused, fortunately let the old cow take his son to Brazil, otherwise a big star will be destroyed by me." Chen Ping laughed while speaking, and there was a lot of helplessness in his laughter. "The second prize is not very high, but it used to be the ultimate dream of my club. But I have played in the second division for more than 10 years, and I can't get promoted to the first class. I didn't expect my son to be so talented, the champion of the Baja Liga, the winner of the Brazilian Cup, which I never dreamed of before." Chen Ping sobbed. "Don't be too excited, you are so bony, I'm afraid you won't be able to hold it. Now you don't stop your son from playing football, do you?" "Of course not, not only will I stop him from playing, but I will also announce in my circle of friends that my son is the king of Brazil." The clenched fist of Chen Ping's right hand was raised high, as if he had returned to the football arena. Subsequently, Chen Ping also began to look at Chen Feng's Tianqiu moment on his mobile phone. What? The son actually plays Samba football? Who taught him this? I never taught. Rainbow? Isn't this the Luo stunt? Oxtail overkill? Shao Luo stunt? Pull the ball through the crotch, it's incredible. It's so showy, magical, gorgeous, and brilliant, it's a football art festival. What? Can this goal also be scored? How fast does he run? How did you jump so high? Chen Ping kept sighing while watching. You must know that he was a professional player in the Chinese Super League and Beijia before, although his skills were not first class, but he still accumulated a lot of experience. Chen Feng's instant ball skills made Chen Ping feel deeply shocked almost every time. Because these skills he has only heard of, he has never really seen, let alone played. He naturally understands how demanding these skills are for the players. At present, the entire world football can show off on the field, and after De Luo retires, there will be Santos horses left. He didn't expect his day to fly. There are also cow-tail passing, volley barbs, Marseille slalom, scorpion tail swinging, pendulum passing man, etc. These are Samba's top skills. His son can actually show off on the field. Although there are still flaws in the fluency and coordination of the movements, it may already be a god when it is shown. No, I have to ask where he learned these skills. Thinking of this, Chen Ping dialed Chen Feng's phone. Son, I just watched your wonderful clip, where did you learn those Samba skills? Chen Feng naturally couldn't say that he was a person with systematic blessings, but just said, I realized it all by myself. I play football whenever I have time in the Dragon Kingdom, and I have to accumulate something. After coming to Londrina, the coach guided me too, so here we are today. What? You kid said you realized it yourself? Chen Feng was suspicious. Can you realize that top-notch Samba skill? Why does it sound so unreliable? Son, you have to tell the truth. You can fool others, but you can't fool your father. Don't forget, your dad used to be a professional footballer. Chen Feng said solemnly. Dad, what do I have to fool you? Your son is talented, others can't understand it, doesn't mean I can't understand it. Are you right? Father? Moreover, I have been studying in the Dragon Kingdom, and I have not even participated in youth training, so my skills cannot fall out of thin air. Chen Feng could only do his best to lie. Good, do a good job. What's the difficulty to tell my mother alive? Take good care of yourself when you go out, you know? Chen Feng, who has always been known as Father Yin, showed his fatherly side at this moment. I know, Dad, rest early, don't overjoy, there will be more surprises waiting for you in the future. Stinky boy, you must remember to guard against arrogance and irritability, and live self-discipline, understand? Understood. After hanging up the phone, Chen Feng and Elena went to wash and prepare for bed due to excessive excitement. The two lay in bed for a long time and did not sleep. Then the phone rang, it was Niu Shufeng. Old cow, in the middle of the night, what are you doing on the phone? Old Chen, I've always had a question I can't figure out, you have to help me answer it. What doubt? Did you teach your son skills, or did he learn it himself? I can tell you seriously now that I never taught him any skills, and I never allowed him to play. He also did not participate in any youth training. I guess he really realized it himself. Chen Feng said with great certainty. Strange, is there really such a genius in the world? Niu Shufeng had a big question mark on his head. Niu Shufeng believes that the biggest possibility is that Chen Feng taught, but Chen Feng's half-bucket of water ball skills can teach such a genius? But the problem is that if it wasn't taught by Chen Feng, it was all Chen Feng's own understanding, it would be terrifying. Go to bed early, and talk next time. Bye-bye. As soon as he hung up the phone, Chen Feng laughed and pointed to his mobile phone. Old Niu still doesn't believe that my son has such a high talent, and specially called me to ask if I taught my son to play football. Hee, I'll be honest, I really never taught. Elena also laughed. It is estimated that the old cow has also been confused, and we are both still in a state of affection. It can only be said that our son is really strong. Do you say our son will become the third pole after Mero? Elena suddenly fantasized. The third pole? Wife, you are also exaggerating. Our son has achieved a lot now, but it is also limited to Brazil. Europe is the top of world football. Mero is a world-renowned world superstar. Stop fantasizing about it, rest early. I am already satisfied that he can achieve such an achievement today. Chen Feng was very relieved, and then covered his head with a quilt and prepared to sleep. It makes sense, I'm satisfied. Elena said with a smile. Episode 70. Barca and Real Madrid staged a robbery battle? Barca play Messi. Early the next morning, Chen Feng received a call from his agent Raiola, saying that there had been new developments in matters related to European clubs, and that he needed to meet and talk. Chen Feng directly made an appointment in the cafe where they met last time. Cafe. Luxury rooms provide privacy. Raiola also brought a stunning beautiful secretary over this time. Chen, as soon as our cooperation was announced, in just 1 month, scouts from 15 European clubs contacted me. It can be seen that European football recognizes you very much. I am proud to be your broker. Thank you. Chen Feng's gaze was solemn and detached. After my initial screening, I singled out 3 top clubs, which are Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Manchester United. Do these 3 club teams need me to tell you more about them? Raiola asked enthusiastically. He thought that Chen Feng would be excited after hearing this. After all, these 3 clubs are all European veteran giants, and countless players yearn for football mecca. But Chen Feng actually had no joy on his face and no waves. Chen, are you dissatisfied with these 3 clubs? Raiola asked in bewilderment. First of all, I just want to go to bullfighting country, and secondly, are there other clubs? Chen Feng spoke. Raiola? Could it be that Chen Feng was really dissatisfied with these 3 clubs? There is another club that is special. His strength cannot be compared with these 3, but the annual salary offered is the highest, 98 million euros. Which club? Chen Feng's eyes flashed and he asked curiously. Atletico Madrid. The strength is also ranked 3rd in La Liga, only after Real Madrid and Barcelona. Raiola was embarrassed and said in a magnetic voice. Yes, that's it. If you help me deal with the signing matter, I will give you a lot of rewards for you. Chen Feng said categorically, then got up and prepared to leave. Raiola was so shocked that her mouth couldn't close, and her face was full of doubts. Can you tell me why such a decision was made? It's simple, because I don't want to live in the shadow of others. Chen Feng's lips pursed slightly, and an evil smile was like mercury pouring down the ground. Raiola slumped on the stool and didn't shake her head for a long time. I don't want to live in the shadow of others. This sentence seems simple, but it is actually extremely profound. Real Madrid have Cristiano Ronaldo, Barca have Lionel Messi, while Manchester United have Wayne Rooney, Robin van Persie. Chen Feng, he wants to build his own football empire. Are you all right, sir? The beautiful assistant on the side hugged Raiola tightly and asked several times in a row. Raiola woke up from her stunned, touched the beautiful assistant's upturned ass, and smiled evilly. Here, work. At the same time, as soon as Chen Feng walked out of the cafe, Laura's sports car stopped in front of him. Chen Feng sat in the co-pilot. Chen, did you really decide to go to Atletico? In other words, it is wise to go to 3 top clubs. After all, football is a team of 11 people, and the top clubs have the strongest history, training modes, and resources. Chen Feng smiled indifferently after hearing this. Ma is actually the 3rd club in La Liga, and the players are first class in the whole of Europe. Having first-class European players as teammates is enough for me to achieve my dreams. Conversely, if I choose to go to the other 3 clubs, it will take quite a long time to get out of the shadow of the superstar. According to the original trajectory of history, Barca spent a huge transfer fee of €57 million to sign a 5-year contract with the Horses. It is said that the Horse joined Barca and was still helped by Messi. Maher thought that it would be a very happy thing to play football with his idol Messi. But the facts hit the Horse in the face at the beginning. In the past 5 years, the Horse has been living in the shadow of Messi, and the Ballon d'Or he has been cherished has been won by Messi every time. As long as Messi is there, the Horses don't want to win any awards. He is shrouded in Messi's halo, and there is no future. This is the main reason why Ma later left Barcelona and joined Greater Paris. The so-called one mountain does not allow 2 tigers. Mero is in the position of the first consideration in terms of tactical position. If Chen Feng joins, he must only choose to compromise, which is the last thing he wants to face. Chen, your vision and decisions always refresh me. This is why you are very different from other stars. You have a fierce vision, full of self-confidence. I believe that with you, Atletico will definitely not be inferior to Real Madrid and Barca. My woman praises me so much, I will swell. Chen Feng quipped. When Laura heard this, she immediately grabbed Chen Feng's hand and put it on her white agar-like thigh. She wears flesh-colored stockings and is sexy and sultry. Then I can praise you a lot. Laura threw a wink. Chen Feng blushed and turned into a big apple in an instant. At the same time, on the projection screen of the conference room in the high-rise office building of the Atletico Club, the analysis report on the Brazilian Chinese player Chen Feng body. Confrontation, 9 points. Chen's physical confrontation ability is beyond imagination, and he has performed very well in the Baja Liga and Brazil Cup, and has been tackled from behind many times without injury. But the weird thing is that the muscle level is not up to the top level in Europe. Balance, 9 points. Chen can always play a variety of gorgeous and treacherous samba skills on the field. Even if it is a football skill that has disappeared, he can play well and has a strong balance. Speed. Speed with the ball, 95 points. Chen's running speed is almost close to that of the flying bolt. Speed without the ball, 99 points. When off the ball, he can move widely throughout the game. In the sport, Baja Liga, and the Copa Brazil League, there have been many occasions when the opponent has been exhausted. This is followed by touching, passing, shooting, positivity, defense, etc. All in all, the average score of Chen Feng can reach an astonishing 9 points. Advantage: as the roaring engine of the team, he can easily use his magical, treacherous, brilliant samba skills to get rid of opponents, enter the box, and shoot again. Disadvantages: love to play ball, weak organizational skills, everything else is excellent. Role positioning, offensive striker. Career achievements: helped Londrina crown the second B, Copa Brazil, Triple Crown winner of the Baja Liga, won the Brazilian Golden Ball, Golden Boot, 2011 Puskas Award, etc. What our club lacks is a roaring engine like Mero. Therefore, we must do our best to sign Chen Feng. Even if we pay a huge price, we must not hesitate. Atletico's new boss Simeone said deafeningly. But the manager, IMHO, I have also watched Chen Feng's games. He loves to show his skills too much, and many times he goes straight to the point. I'm afraid he'll be hard to tame when he comes. What's more, there are many players who can show off in Brazilian football, but they often burp after coming to Europe. Assistant coach Fernando raised his concerns. When our iron-blooded legion comes, he must strictly obey orders. Even if he's a wild monkey, I'll have to tame him. Simeone clenched his fists, his gaze hard as iron. He asked himself that in football, there is no player he can't tame. Do you have any other comments? Majing CEO Miguel asked. After seeing that everyone had no opinion, Miguel declared the meeting over. Barca, Real Madrid, the club manager of Majing has personally traveled to Raiola's company location. The war of robbery is on the verge of breaking out. For a time, Chen Feng was on the hot search again, attracting the attention of tens of millions of fans. My God, Barca, Real Madrid, and Atletico Madrid actually opened the robbery battle against Chen Wuwang at the same time. How popular is this? And the managers of the three clubs have gone to participate in the robbery battle. You don't know yet, do you? According to insider information, there are a total of 15 clubs in Europe interested in Chen Wuwang. What? 15 companies? And all of Europe's top clubs? This kind of treatment has never been seen before. I don't think it's enough. Raiola has already released the news that Chen Wuwang only wants to go to the European club. If this news is not released, clubs from other continents will also come to grab people. Wow, God, it's crazy, it's unimaginable. According to insider information, I also know that King Chen Wu only wants to go to the bullfighting country, and other countries don't go at all. It seems that he went to Mero with an iron heart. Of course, now is the era of Mero's peerless double arrogance. As long as you can enter any of these teams, you can also reap countless honors. Son, which team would you choose to join? Real Madrid or Barca? On the phone call, Chen Feng asked with concern. Dad, I thought about it, I chose to join Atletico. When Chen Feng heard this, he was instantly puzzled. What? You told me you were going to join Atletico. Bullfighting country has always been the domain of Real Madrid and Barcelona. What is the horse party? Don't joke like this, son. I support you to join Barca. With Messi as your teammate, you can definitely make a breakthrough in Europe in the future. No, Dad, I don't want to live in the shadow of others. I want to build my own football empire. Chen Feng said breathlessly. You want to build your own football empire? Meaning, do you want to catch up with Mero and achieve the third pole? When Chen Feng heard this, he instantly laughed. Son, it's not that your father can't look at you, you still have to be down to earth, don't look at the masters and the low. Say what, you? Elena snatched Chen Feng's mobile phone and said. Son, don't worry about your father, no matter what decision you make, your mother will support you. Thank you, Mom. Dad, someday he'll understand. After hanging up the phone, Chen Feng's face was full of anger and he was angry at Elena. What are you doing? The wrong decision your son made, how can you help if you don't correct it? Ping, you don't believe your son so much? You discouraged him from playing before, but now he has proven it to you with actual actions? Elena doesn't have a good temper either. But I used to be a player and I know how hard it is. As long as the son joins Real Madrid or Barcelona, he can follow and win the award. Chen Feng did not adhere to it. But my son just said that he didn't want to live in the shadow of others. Maybe he can really become the third pole outside of Mero? Chen Feng was also speechless when he heard this. Is it really so good to be a world superstar? There are thousands of players, how many have become stars? How many of the countless stars have become world superstars? Become a world superstar, and how many people can always maintain the peak? However, Chen Feng also knew that it was useless for him to block it, so he simply ignored it and let Chen Feng wander in. Anyway, when Chen Feng is desperate, he can still live a rich life when he returns to the Dragon Kingdom. Raiola's brokerage company. The beautiful assistant received 3 people from Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Majing. Simeone, it's not that I look down on you, just based on the historical achievements of the horse and the steel plutonium in his pocket, there is no need to come here to make fun. Real Madrid coach Zidane looked at Simeone with disdain. Don't look down on people. Simeone also reciprocates. Although Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid are teams in the same city, the relationship between the two teams is also very anxious, and it can be said that they are mortal enemies in the same city. Zidane, you also overestimate yourself. Chen Feng will definitely choose to join Barca, because Barca has the brightest stars in the world. Who doesn't want to be teammates with a star like Messi? Barca coach Josep also made mockery. Real Madrid and Barca are notoriously bitter rivals, but neither team has taken the horse seriously. After all, before Simeone came, Atletico Madrid were all pressed by Real Madrid and Barca, and there was almost no prospect. After a while, the chubby Raiola arrived, first smiling and shaking hands with several managers. Then he sat down and said, "Thank you to the staff of the 3 clubs for their long journey, now I want to see how sincere you are." Sincerity, that is, how high the annual salary can be in the big contract offered. Although Chen Feng had already made a decision, Raiola decided to call all three clubs over. Let them each talk about their sincerity, maybe Chen Feng will change his mind. Real Madrid boss Zidane said, "We can offer an annual salary of 85 million euros, and of course we will give an extra bonus to the agent who makes the deal." Zidane smiled meaningfully at Raiola, hinting that the extra reward would be substantial. Raiola is a businessman after all, and the best way to convince a businessman is to give money. Barca coach Josep said, "We can offer an annual salary of 9 million euros, what Real Madrid can give, we will give double. What Real Madrid didn't give, we also give." After Josep finished speaking, he glared at Zidane with disdain. Sure enough, it was a dead opponent, and in an instant the smell of gunpowder filled the air. Atletico manager Simeone laughed, "We are willing to offer an annual salary of 98 million euros, in addition, we will pool all the resources of the 29 club to make Chen Feng a world superstar comparable to Mero." Poof. As soon as these words came out, the entire conference room burst into a burst of laughter one after another. "I said, Simeone, what have you achieved so far in charge? Wasn't it enough to take a hit? Just by Atletico, what resources can you come up with? It's so overwhelming. Please calm down, are the sincerities of the three completely displayed now?" Raiola asked. All three nodded, indicating that this was the greatest sincerity they had given. Zidane did not plan to increase his annual salary, he thought that Chen Feng was worth so much money, and he was unwilling. What's more, Real Madrid is by far recognized as the strongest club in the Baja Liga, and countless players lick their faces and want to join. As for Barca head coach Josep did not think of increasing his annual salary, although Barca's historical results are not as good as Real Madrid, he has the world's brightest star Messi, which is his signboard. Simeone would like to add it, but Atletico are too short of money, and this is all for the top salary of the team. If you are not satisfied, Atletico will lose money and go out of business, even the club will go bankrupt. What is the point of you still wanting Chen Feng? Okay, let me ask my boss's opinion first. Raiola came to the lounge and shared the sincerity of the three top clubs and his own ideas. Unexpectedly, Chen Feng actually had an iron heart. "Don't think about it anymore, I choose to join Ma Jing." Chen Feng made up his mind. Raiola had to bury his head and sigh. Judging from his professionalism, he always felt that Chen Feng's decision was wrong. After all, young and vigorous, everyone hopes to become a world superstar like Mero, but how many can really do it? Episode 71. Joining the Bedsheet Legion, Coach Iron-Blooded Simeone? Sorry to keep everyone waiting. Raiola was full of apologies, sat down and said. Next, I will announce Yang Chen's decision. Real Madrid, Barca people raised their proud heads, Zidane and Josep hugged their elbows, with a winning expression. Real Madrid. When everyone heard this, their eyes flashed, it was really Real Madrid? Is it Real Madrid, Barcelona, or Atletico? Raiola actually sold the pass, which whetted the appetite of everyone present. Our decision to young Master Chen is. Raiola looked at everyone present and announced loudly, Ma is. As soon as these words came out, everyone in the audience was silent for 3 seconds. The conference room, which was still warm, was silent at the moment. Everyone was stunned at this time. They believe that Chen Feng is the most likely choice of Real Madrid, followed by Barca, and as for Atletico, it is not on their consideration at all. But no one expected that Chen Feng actually chose the most unpopular Ma Jing. Raiola, maybe I'm hallucinating, can you announce it again? Zidane doesn't think this is the ultimate answer. Well, since some people didn't hear clearly, then I'll announce it again. Young Chen finally chose to join Atletico Madrid. Congratulations to Atletico Madrid for reaching a partnership with Chen Jr. Raiola stood up and announced with a full breath. Haha, I said earlier that we will be the ultimate winners, and those self-righteous people can't hang on their faces, right? Simone got up and raised his head and patted the suit on his body, with a proud expression. Zidane, Josep stared at him in disbelief originally. After watching Chen Feng's game, the two of them admired him very much. Unexpectedly, he was so ignorant that in order to offer an additional annual salary of hundreds of thousands of euros, he actually chose the horse party? What a poor bastard who only has money in his eyes. Zidane flicked his suit and left angrily. Join Ma Jing? Just for that little annual salary? What a patternless, unproductive brat. Josep also had a scowl on his face, turned and left with the scout. Hello, Mr. Raiola. Please take me to meet Chen Feng. Simeone said excitedly. To be honest, Simeone has no idea about today's robbery battle, and by 17 is actually robbing people with Real Madrid, Barcelona clubs of this level. But he didn't expect that his sincerity still impressed Chen Feng. Please follow me. Raiola brought Simeone and others to the lounge, where Chen Feng was watching Atletico's lineup and analyzing the strength and position of his future teammates. Chen, welcome to join the Bedsheet Legion. Simeone wears a suit, a beard on his face, a handsome appearance, and speaks with a lot of breath, which is a typical type man. As soon as he saw Chen Feng, he shook hands with Chen Feng enthusiastically and excitedly. Chen Feng, who had traveled from his previous life, was naturally familiar with iron-blooded Simone. Before Simeone took over Atletico, there was a huge gap with Real Madrid and Barca, and La Liga has always been Real Saw's two-man turn. But after he took over, Atletico completely transformed, and 3 years later, they won the La Liga title. He went on to help Atletico win 1 Europa League, 2 UEFA Super Cups, a Copa del Rey, and lead the team to 2 Champions League finals in 3 years. With such an excellent coach in charge, Chen Feng does not have to worry about his strength not being able to play. I am very honored to join the Predator Legion. Changing the Bedsheet Legion to the Predator Legion represents Chen Feng's recognition of Atletico. Chen Feng's voice is like a bell, his temperament is calm, like a Jilan jade tree, and the abyss is like you, and he has a very strong oppressive force. Simeone was inwardly surprised. He had the privilege of seeing horses once before, and they were also playing coquettish samba football. Why did Chen Feng and horses show completely different styles off the field? Knowing that Chen Feng chose Atletico, he was still a little worried, afraid that the assistant coach's prediction would become true, that is, Chen Feng did not submit to discipline. But now it seems that his previous concerns are suspicious. Let's sign the contract now, and you are welcome to join the team tomorrow, Simone said excitedly. No problem. Subsequently, under the witness of agent Raiola, Chen Feng officially signed Atletico Madrid for a period of 5 years and an annual salary of €98 million. After signing the contract, Simeone led the people to the club. After Chen Feng said goodbye to Raiola, he drove the sports car to Laura's house. Laura just finished bathing, and the whole room was filled with a familiar jasmine fragrance. Chen, you are here. Laura wore a white suspender tulle nightdress with a lace-outlined v-neck and a few irises embroidered at the hem. The skin was a faint pink, and against the background of the white silk nightdress, it looked particularly pink, like a white rose that was shy and blooming, beautiful and elegant, and the enchanting soft black long hair was scattered on the shoulders like a waterfall, quietly leaning on the doorframe and looking at him, affectionately rippling. This nightdress was specially sent by Chen Feng from the Dragon Kingdom by a friend. Today is Laura's first time wearing it, and she surprised Chen Feng unexpectedly. Like it? Laura asked. Loved it. Then you can't come yet. Laura Bell lightly buttoned her pink lips and said slightly angrily. Chen, it may be a few days before I can be transferred to the bullfighting country, you alone have to take care of yourself. Laura, who was lying in Chen Feng's arms, said reluctantly. Don't worry, I'm only worried about whether you can take care of yourself. Chen Feng looked at the stunning beauty in the crook of his arm affectionately, and gently kissed her pink lips. Be sure to come over as soon as possible, I will wait for you over there. Laura let out a low moan slightly shyly. Chen Feng got up and got dressed, made a hearty dinner for Laura, and after the two ate happily, Chen Feng said goodbye to Laura. Before getting on the plane from Brazil to the bullfighting country, Chen Feng once again looked at this country that meant a lot to him. Goodbye, grandmother, uncle, aunt, and Alice. Turned around and was about to go to board, but I didn't expect Alice's phone call. Cousin, I heard that you signed a contract with Atletico, and the outside world is rumored vigorously, is it true? Alice still spoke so bluntly. It's true, I'm about to get on a plane to bullfighting country. What? So soon, you didn't come to say goodbye to us? Alice pouted, looking unhappy. What do you want to say goodbye? I will come to see you with my parents this year, Chen Feng said with a smile. Well, your grandmother is looking forward to you every day, and you must not let her down. Definitely not. By the way, cousin, it is rumored that the top clubs in Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Atletico Madrid are robbing you. Why did you choose the most inconspicuous Atletico? Alice was also full of doubts. Because I don't want to live in the shadow of others, I want to create a third pole outside of Marrow, Chen Feng said breathlessly. I guessed that, and I fought with my dad about it once I won, ahahaha. Alice's laughter was truly indulgent. Congratulations on winning, now I'm about to board the plane, turn back and talk on the phone. Bye-bye. Hanging up the phone, Chen Feng got on the plane, but he didn't expect to receive Xiaohei's message immediately. Chen, I am engaged to Sandra, and I will get married next year, you must come to drink. By the way, the strongest king in my heart, when I go to Europe, I must become a world superstar, and my brothers are waiting to be stained. Chen Feng replied with a smile. First of all, congratulations on your engagement, a lover has finally become a dependent. As a brother, I am happy for you. Secondly, I will come back to see you when I have time when I go to Europe. You are all my best teammates and my pride. Subsequently, Walter and other Londrina's teammates, including coaches and assistant coaches, sent blessings to Chen Feng. Chen Feng couldn't help but burst into tears while watching. Unexpectedly, General Manager Marcelo also sent a message. Chen, I solemnly apologize for looking down on you before. You are the greatest player since the establishment of Londrina, and I also hope that one day you can become the greatest player in the whole of Brazil. Thank you, General Manager. Although Chen Feng covered his face, the slight sobbing still attracted the attention of the side seat, and the other party asked him if he needed help. Chen Feng waved his hand and politely declined. After coming to the bullfighting country, he did not expect that as soon as he got off the plane, a strange passerby greeted him, Hola. Chen Feng also immediately responded, Hola. Located in Madrid, Atletico is the capital and largest metropolis of the bullfighting country. At first glance, Chen Feng had a sense of maturity that was both classical and calm. Then the car for Atletico came to pick up, and Chen Feng came to the Atletico club not long after he got in. Simeone specially brought members of the first team to pick up Chen Feng. Since there will be a grand unveiling ceremony in a few days, Simeone did not ask the club to hold any special welcome ceremony. Assistant coach Fernando gave a brief introduction to everyone, and then took Chen Feng to the dormitory. Mahjong's dormitory is very atmospheric, clean and tidy, and the conditions are indeed much better than that of Londrina. Chen Feng put down his suitcase and prepared to pack up. Since he is new to the hotel, the club also specially gave him 2 days to adapt and rest, and he is not in a hurry, and when he is rested, he will go to the training ground to take a look. Unexpectedly, as soon as he packed up his clothes, there was a knock on the door in the dormitory, and when Chen Feng opened the door, he saw a man with long hair, not tall but strong physique, and a thick smile. Falcao? Chen Feng subconsciously thought of this name. Assistant coach Fernando remembered the name Falcao, nicknamed the Tiger, during a brief introduction, and according to the original historical development trajectory, Falcao achieved very bright results during his time at Atletico, and established himself as the third striker in La Liga in the era of Mero's peerless double pride. It's a pity that after Monaco bought Falcao for a transfer fee of €60 million, he hit his knee on the field, causing countless fans to sigh. It was also because of that injury that Falcao could not recover his courage and gradually retired from football. Farca, it's an honor to be your teammate. Chen Feng stretched out his right hand of friendship. No, it's up to me to say this to you. I watched your matches in the Copa Brazil and the Baja Liga. It's just a god. By the way, you can just call me a Tiger. Tiger, I have also seen your performance in the Portuguese Premier League. It is simply comparable to the existence of Mero's striker. You are the real core of our team. Farca was shocked by the low-key, humble man in front of him. He originally thought that as a Brazilian, combined with the beautiful samba football he played, Chen Feng should be enthusiastic and arrogant. I didn't expect him to be so low-key and humble, which is very similar to Messi, with an Oriental aesthetic style. Chen, as a Chinese Brazilian, you should have stayed in the Dragon Kingdom for a long time, right? Farca asked. That's right, my father is an authentic dragon country, and I have been in the dragon country for 11 years. 11 years? God, it's no wonder that you are completely different from Brazilians in temperament, more like a dragon countryman. It's a pity that dragon country football is too bad, otherwise you can choose to play in dragon country. Tiger, I'll pack up my things first and go back to the training ground to take a look. Chen Feng said with a smile. Okay. Unexpectedly, Falco was so enthusiastic. As soon as he arrived at the dormitory, he specially came to the dormitory to greet him. Falca and another striker, Diego Costa, are rare strikers, and with these two as their right arms, Barca should still have a good chance of overturning Real Madrid. However, Costa should not get along as well as Falca. Costa is known to the outside world as prosperous beauty, very handsome, good ball skills, but more careful thinking. It was only a slight sign when he was in the horses, but then his form declined, and when he went to other clubs, he was completely exposed, and he was labeled as dirty in the style. It seems that in order to fully gain the approval of these two strikers, especially Costa, Chen Feng still needs to take some necessary measures. After a while, Laura's phone rang. Honey, have you arrived at Mahjong? How does it feel? I was quite satisfied. The manager was afraid that I would not be suitable for me when I first arrived, so he specially gave me 2 days off. Then you just take advantage of this time to have a good rest. Don't miss me too much. Well, I'll miss you a lot. Poof. Laura burst out laughing, and then the two chatted for a while, and then Alice and Elena called one after another, asking how the situation was. Real Madrid Club, Concord Building. Since this kid Chen Feng doesn't know the time, then we can only choose the horse, Zidane said with his elbow in his arms. But I heard that Barca are also following the horses. and Messi has a good relationship with the horses. The assistant coach raised his own concerns. Don't worry, fight for it first. Zidane slapped his ass and sat up, at the same time, FC Barca, the office building. Just the horse, we have been observing him for the past 2 years, but Chen Feng suddenly appeared and stole the honor of the horse, otherwise those honors are all horses. As soon as the horses join, we can form the striker trident MSN combination Messi, Suarez, the horses. Coach Josep said confidently. Let Messi invite him, isn't the relationship between the two very good? I believe that Messi will come out and this time it will be inevitable. Josep added. Okay. The assistant coach nodded fiercely. Santos Club, dormitory, horses are on the move, and he doesn't know whether he should choose to join Real Madrid or Barca. Chen Feng sand sculpture, let the top Real Madrid and Barca not join, actually chose Atletico, it's really stupid to the extreme. The horse showed a disdainful look. Since the honor that originally belonged to him was taken away by Chen Feng, he felt resentment, and all his appreciation of Chen Feng turned into hatred. Don't think that you beat me in Brazil, just take it for granted that you can beat me in bullfighting countries. I will avenge the insults on the field. The horse's eyes are like cold knives, full of edge. Then the phone rang, was it Messi? Mar immediately answered the phone. Mar, you hurry up and come to Barca, our trident will send you alone. Messi is an idol for horses, and it is his dream to play football with idols. Good. The horse agreed without hesitation. Since the contract between Ma and Santos expired, it was originally under the operation of the agent according to the original historical development trajectory. The horses chose to renew Santos' contract until Barca bought them next year for a transfer fee of €571 million. But in this life, due to the butterfly effect that Chen Feng crossed, Ma couldn't wait, he rejected the agent's opinion and chose to join Barca directly. Episode 72. Chen Feng's unveiling ceremony, Atletico first team assembled. The news that Chen Feng signed Atletico Madrid with an annual salary of €98 million quickly caused a sensation in Brazil, the Dragon Country, and even world football. Countless Brazilian and Dragon Country fans are hotly talking, and the news about the signing has repeatedly climbed the search list. Why didn't King Chen choose to go to Real Madrid and Barcelona? Could it be that the rumors from the outside world are false? Nope. According to reliable sources, Real Madrid and Barca horses actually started a robbery war, and the most unpromising horse actually won. God, this can't be true, can it? Real Madrid and Barca are the clubs vying for the title and runners-up in the major European leagues. Why did Chen Wuwang choose the humble Atletico? What's so strange about that? Xiao Luo, Kaka, De Luo, when they landed in La Liga, weren't they all coaxed by Real Madrid and Barca at the same time? Chen Wuwang's performance in the Baja League is no less than the above three, right? Don't guess, who is King Chen Wu? He definitely doesn't want to live in Mero's shadow, he wants to be the third pole in football. The third pole? That is, he wants to be on an equal footing with Mero? Is it possible? Chen Feng went to the top of world football, Europe, which is not comparable to Brazil. But it's impossible, let's just wait and see. At the same time, Dragon Country neck #Brazil Chinese Chen Feng joined Atletico Madrid in an attempt to create a third pole outside Mero. And caused crazy reprints and comments on the whole network, and ranked first on the hot search list of multiple platforms at the same time. At this moment, Chen Feng, a Chinese descent, has completely attracted the attention of the whole people of the Dragon Country and the pawns of the Dragon Country. Isn't it just a Chinese Brazilian who joined Madrid, and not joined Real Madrid and Barcelona? What's the fuss about? You're ball blind, aren't you? I advise you to watch more videos of Chen Feng single-handedly helping Londrina win the 3 crowns of the Bahia, Baja Liga, and Brazil Cup, and be careful that your jaw is shocked. If that's what you said, why can he only enter the horse? Because he doesn't want to live in the shadow of Mero, he wants to create a third pole in football. You mean he can't look at Real Madrid and Barca? Do you believe it when you say it? Also the third pole of football, there are many stars who call themselves the third pole, but so far no one can really match Mero. Chen Feng is also considered the pride of the Chinese, and you trolls have accumulated virtue. You cannot like it, but please don't spray indiscriminately. This 3 views upstairs are the most correct. I am a fan of Chen Wuwang. Our Dragon Country has not produced a world-class star. I sincerely hope that Chen Wuwang can become a world star, even if he is Chinese. It can be regarded as barely fulfilling the dream in my heart. A few days later, Atletico held an unveiling ceremony for Chen Feng. As soon as the debut ceremony is over, you need to fully devote yourself to training and prepare for the second half of La Liga. La Liga's winter break begins on December 21st and ends on January 4th of the following year. Chen Feng arrived on January 20th, and the 21st round of La Liga matches has been played. Ma finished 6th in the standings with 9 wins, 5 draws and 7 defeats, and 32 points. Real Madrid and Barca are in the first and second places in the table respectively, and the momentum is very strong. The unveiling ceremony of new signings from major clubs began as scheduled. The unveiling ceremony will take place outside the Vicente Calderón Stadium, on the banks of the Manzanares River in the southwest of Madrid, where fans will have the opportunity to welcome the new players, and the horses will also start live online. Teams of journalists from Brazil, Europe and the Dragon Kingdom are rushing to the Vicente Calderón Stadium. The Brazilian journalist team that went were all top media in the Baja Liga. After all, Chen Feng, as the King of Brazil, has attracted much attention from the Brazilian people. As for the European journalist team, it was the general media, but the top media went to the Barca unveiling ceremony. The arrival of Barcelona in Barcelona caused shockwaves in Europe. And a Dragon Country team is more special. It is the Dragon Country 5 sets, that is, the reporter of CCTV Sports Channel, including the famous commentator Lucci. In order to see the idle demeanor, Lucci also arrived in the bullfighting country 5 days in advance, and he was extremely excited at this time. At present, in 2012, La Liga is the hottest broadcast event in the 5 sets of Dragon countries. It wasn't until 3 years later that PPTV bought the broadcast rights to La Liga for 5 years that La Liga faded out of the vision of the 5 sets of Dragon country. Lucci walked into the Calderón Stadium with the accompanying photographer. As can be seen from the live broadcast, half of the seats at the Calderón Stadium are not full, and most of them are Brazilian and Dragon Country fans. Keep in mind that the Calderón Stadium can only accommodate 54,000 people. On the other hand, Barca's debut ceremony was full, and it was the Camp Nou Stadium that could accommodate 109,815 people. It has to be said that Barca's fans and popularity are crushing Atletico. An hour later, Atletico's coaches and players walked into the Calderón Stadium one after another. Chen Feng shook hands with Atletico president Enrique Cerezo, and then served as a horse. The competition player made his first official appearance. Chen Feng said, "Hello Ma Jing fans, I am very happy to join Atletico. I will win the whole world together with my teammates." As soon as these words came out, the entire stadium applauded thunderously, and the pan was instantly fried, and countless fans shouted Chen Feng's name. From Londrina to Atletico, these fans have witnessed Chen Feng's growth and of course will see him brilliant in the future. This is followed by a half-hour interactive ceremony. Chen Feng chose to be interviewed by 2 media, one is Brazil's top media and the other is Longwawizits. The Brazilian media reporter asked, "How did you feel when you traveled from Londrina to Atletico?" Chen Feng pursed his lips and said, "I am very excited, I am very grateful for the cultivation and care that Londrina has given me for more than a year. Horses are my dream place and another base from which I take off in Europe." Great, the Brazilian fans asked me to bring a word. They say that no matter what difficulties you have, they are the strongest shield behind you. Do you have anything to say to the Brazilian fans? Chen Feng smiled lightly, "Thank you, I will never let you down." Lucci then came to interview Chen Feng. "Do you know that you already have a lot of fans in the Dragon Kingdom?" Chen Feng replied, "I have lived in the Dragon Kingdom for 11 years, and my parents still live in the Dragon Country, and I am very grateful to the fans of the Dragon Kingdom for their support and liking of me. As a Chinese Brazilian, would you like to return to Longwa one day to be a football coach?" Chen Feng pursed his lips and said with a smile, "If you invite me, I will definitely go back." The fans of the Dragon Country also asked me to bring you a word. They said that no matter where your nationality is, you always have the blood of the Dragon Kingdom flowing in your body. They hope that you will one day be on top of world football, and don't forget to have time to return to Dragon Country to be a football coach. After all, the Dragon Kingdom, which has a huge population, has not had a world superstar until now. Thank you Dragon Kingdom fans for their love and support for me, I promise you this. The interview then ended. Chen Feng will also attend the press conference with the team. Chen Feng will definitely become a great instrument. His character is completely adhering to the Oriental humble, low-key aesthetics, which shows that in his 11 years in the Dragon Kingdom, the environment of the Dragon Kingdom has given him a very thick edification. Then Lucci sighed and said, "It's a pity that the football environment of the Dragon Country is too poor, and the national pawn I don't even know how to say it, even if the national pawn is willing to spend a huge amount of money to naturalize Chen Feng one day, it won't make much difference. Unless the pawns are radically reformed from the inside out, however, this is not possible." Hey! In the afternoon, fans and media staff walked out of the stadium, and Atletico's first-team players were ready to assemble for a medical examination of the whole team on the one hand, and training on the other. Chen Feng was the first to go to the physical examination. Under the physical examination instrument, Ma Jing's young and beautiful female physical examiner looked a little astringent. Chen Feng put on his shirt again and stepped down from the instrument. "You're the most perfect muscle-line player I've ever seen." The female physical examiner was blunt, staring directly at Chen Feng, who was tall, handsome and calm in his facial features, and his gaze was heavy. Then glanced at Chen Feng's physical examination data, and was even more surprised. Unexpectedly, Chen Feng's data was almost perfect. This is also because Chen Feng filled all the dream points in the column of the overlord's body before coming to the bullfighting country from Brazil. With the perfect overlord body, Chen Feng's natural physical skills and panel attributes are close to full scores, but the limit of the instrument, otherwise his physical examination data will be scary. In addition, as soon as he stepped into the Calderon Stadium, Chen Feng gained 1,000 dream points. The Calderon Stadium is one of the best in the world and was awarded a 5-star football stadium by UEFA in 2004. Chen Feng opened the system bar. Samba skills, 8,000/10,000. That is to say, it is only 2,000 dream points away from the completion of Samba's ball skills. Europe is the top of world football, almost all of the best stadiums in the world are in Europe, and it is believed that the Samba will soon be filled. In the future, he can use his dream points to redeem all kinds of magical items in the dream shop. After Chen Feng completed the physical examination, he came to the sidelines to change his equipment. "Damn it. I gained another 4 kilograms, and the manager is afraid to scold me." Costa sat on the green field with a depressed look, his hands tied to the shin guards. Falcao scolded with a smile, "Costa, I said to let you temper a little in the off-season. No wonder how slow you were in the last race." "Dead tiger, don't talk nonsense, when the boss hears it, you have to shave my skin." Haha. This is a common problem among professional players. During the winter off-season, when there is a break, they tend to relax themselves. Even highly professional players can avoid this problem. Once indulged, lack of training naturally leads to a decline in certain technical indicators. However, clubs are generally staffed by professional nutritionists. Hey! Is the Dragon Country man who provoked the female medical examiner really worth the 98 million euros of the team's top salary? Wouldn't it just spend fists embroidering legs and seduce women? Costa has always been yin and yang weird, and likes to make small moves on the field, so it's no wonder he's labeled dirty with a dirty style. Costa, don't talk nonsense. Chen is of Chinese-Brazilian descent, not from the Dragon Kingdom. Besides, don't you know the awards he won in Brazil? The strength must not be underestimated, otherwise Real Madrid, Barca, and the three giants will compete. Think with your brain. Falcao scolded angrily. I just think about it with my brain, let Real Madrid, Barca don't go, I have to come to our club, isn't it afraid that I don't have that strength? Costa was unconvinced. Falcao was too lazy to deal with him, and walked straight towards Chen Feng. "Chen, it's been 2 days since you came here, how are you adapting?" Chen Feng smiled slightly, "Not bad. Well, with your joining in our team, La Liga is very promising to win this year." Falcao was not joking, but after careful consideration, he said it. Falcao is a veteran of the Portuguese Premier League, and helped Porto win 4 titles in the Cork Country Super Cup, Portuguese Premier League, UEFA Cup and Cork Country Cup, won the UEFA Cup top scorer, was elected the best player in the UEFA Cup final, and the Cork Country Golden Ball. In August 2011, Falcao moved from Porto to Atletico Madrid for 40 million euros. At this time, Falcao's honor was no worse than Chen Feng. As long as Costa doesn't engage in infighting and we work together as a team, I believe the La Liga champion is not a big problem. Don't bird him, Costa's mouth stinks. After Falcao comforted Chen Feng for a moment, under the group of Coach Simeone, Atletico's joint training quickly began. But basic training, Simeone is very strict, training more than 5 times that of Chen Feng in Londrina. No wonder Simeone was crowned with the word iron and blood, I can be regarded as having seen it. Chen Feng sighed secretly. Although the amount of training is more than 5 times that of Londrina, Chen Feng has the perfect overlord body protective body, even if it is 100 times stronger for him, it is not a problem for him. But other teammates couldn't hold on continuously, some players had cramps and foaming at the mouth, and the only ones who survived were Chen Feng, Falcao, and Costa. But Costa's face had turned dark, and he felt dizzy and was about to lose his grip. This kid, why is his physical strength so strong? He actually looks like he can't breathe, like a nobody? How is this possible? Costa's face was full of surprise. You must know that he believes that his physical strength ranks second at Atletico, only behind Falcao. Unexpectedly, he was completely thrown off by Chen Feng now. Plop. Costa lay directly on the ground, completely unable to move. Falcao tried his best to keep up with Chen Feng. After all, he was only 26 years old and was at the peak of his body. Unexpectedly, after another half an hour, Falcao already felt that his physical strength and endurance were at an end. But Chen Feng was still breathless, and all kinds of basic training movements were done with ease. It's really a genius. The moment Falcao was amazed, the whole person immediately lay on the ground, already exhausted. Simone blew the whistle of basic training, and Chen Feng stopped training. I know that there are many people in the team who have special opinions about Chen Feng, and that's okay. I will slowly witness to you how big the gap between you and him is. I hope you will gradually eliminate your prejudices. We need a responsible team, and we need a team that works together. Numerous. Simeone said loudly. Afterwards, the whole team went back to the dormitory to rest, and most of them returned to the dormitory with the help of the staff. Only Chen Feng walked back to the dormitory freely. At night, after taking a bath, many teammates ran into Chen Feng's dormitory and looked at him with adoration. Chen, why is your physical strength so good? How did you train it? Chen Feng smiled lightly, adhere to daily regular training, and then self-discipline. Episode 73. Terrifying C&D combination, Atletico's final puzzle. As a result of the last brutal basic training, the players rested for 3 days and recovered almost as well as Simeone asked for a confrontation training session. The competition is divided into Groups A and B. Chen Feng and Falcao are the captains of Group A and Group B, respectively, and the other team members choose the group according to their wishes. Captain Gabby chose to join Group A. Costa volunteered to join Group B. The rest of the team joined at their own will, for a total of 23 players, including 3 goalkeepers. Together with 3 goalkeepers, there are 26 players in total, which happens to have 13 players in each of the 2 groups of AB. The duration of the match is half an hour, and whichever group scores the most goals wins. The tournament officially begins. Group B won the ball, and the defender gave the ball to Costa with a short kick, and it has to be said that Costa has good ability at his feet and faces several defenders. The ups and downs were quickly shaken off by a pull and a button, and then passed to Falcao. Falcao, as a first-class player in the Portuguese Premier League, with a strong sense of grabbing points, after waiting for a long time on the sideline of the penalty area to get the ball, Falcao was ready to go. With his strong physique to take the lead in physical confrontation, facing the defenders of Group A, showing super dribbling ability, although the technique is not very fancy, but it is good to implement it cleanly. Then turned around and suddenly broke out, once again forcibly overtaking with his strong body, and broke into the hinterland of Group A with a single knife, straight to the goal. Seeing this, Captain Gabby stepped forward to chase and block, and Falcao was not timid in the face of the cone defense, dribbling the ball flexibly with his left and right feet. It can be seen that he is not against his feet. A pull and snap with his left foot threw off the defender, and then facing the goalkeeper, he abruptly took a burst right-footed shot. The goalkeeper threw his hands empty. The score is 1-0. Group A trailed by 1 goal. The audience burst into loud applause, including Simeone. Just now Group B was fantastic, every detail was done well. Simeone's training style has always been known for being iron-blooded, cunning and tough, and he applies discipline to every movement and every tactical execution. Every time, it has to be down to the detail. If a player fails to do well, he will be violently punished. Chen Feng, this kid, is really a flower fist embroidered leg, see how he turns over 620. Costa looked at him with disdain. The game continued, Group A won the ball, and the captain Gabby received the ball from the midfield, and then kicked straight to Chen Feng at the back. Chen Feng was in a big gap, and he also wanted to see what else Chen Feng was capable of, besides his strong physical strength. As soon as Chen Feng got the ball, Costa took the initiative to run up to chase and block, and it can be seen that Costa really wants to let Group A fail, and wants Chen Feng's face to have nowhere to. Simeone was angry at Costa's performance. After all, he violated the pre-match tactical arrangement, and it was not Chen Feng who he was staring at to death. However, Simeone did not lose his temper. After all, this is a confrontation match, not an official match. Costa, you're really out of your strength. Simeone hugged his elbows and smiled playfully. A sneer appeared at the corner of Chen Feng's mouth, and he was also trying to let this kid taste the power of Samba skills. Costa spread his hands and stared at the ball, choosing to break it whenever he had the chance. The next moment, Chen Feng suddenly put his feet behind him, clamped the ball, and jumped high, and in an instant, the ball flew over Costa's head in a treacherous arc. Since Chen Feng was with his feet behind him, blocking Costa's line of sight, coupled with his incomparably fast speed, it was completely in the blink of an eye. Costa didn't have time to react at all. Chen Feng jumped past him, and then, all the way with the ball front lateral high-speed dribbling, interspersed with pulling the ball through the crotch, stepping on the bicycle, casually to burst the stop. The whole process is extremely smooth, in one go, like a god. Finally, facing the goalkeeper's defense, Chen Feng chose to slash without explanation. The goalkeeper didn't even blink an eyelid, and the ball entered the net without solution. The score is 1-1. At this moment, the audience was extremely silent, and the drop of needles could be heard. The second team of Atletico Madrid, who had just arrived, wanted to see Falcao's demeanor, but he did not expect to be completely stunned by Chen Feng's wave of tension. At the moment, even manager Simeone is confused. Chen Feng was secretly pleasantly surprised in his heart. If the Samba skill of 8,000 dream points is amazing, it's the ultimate. Compared to Atlandrina, he has mastered the Samba game. It's almost to the extreme. Every movement is extremely smooth, soul-destroying, brilliant, and if it were not for the superstars, the subtle flaws contained in it would hardly be visible. 10. My God, for the first time I saw such a magical, gorgeous, soul-destroying ball technique. The whole process flowed in one go, and it blinded my eyes. No wonder world football calls Samba football an art football, and it is as delicate, gorgeous, and elegant as art. I am deeply impressed. I don't want to say anything else. In terms of this skill and physical strength, Chen Feng is definitely no less than the Marrow too. The club costs a lot of money and the manager fights for it himself, which seems to be a very wise choice. No wonder Chen Wuwang didn't choose Real Madrid and Barca. He can create a third pole outside of Marrow. The teammates kept praising one by one, and this kind of praise from the heart was absolutely sincere and did not contain any falsehood. At this moment, the captain Gabi and Falcao were also stunned, and they did not come to their senses for a long time. As a first-class player in the Portuguese Premier League, Falcao can be regarded as a long-standing player in the Portuguese Premier League, and for the first time he was conquered by the strength of a player. As for Costa, his eyes were as wide as copper bells, and his heart was almost beating out. Just now, how exactly did he get rid of me just now? I couldn't turn my eyes. Staring at the ball under his feet. Oh my God, it's incredible. Costa was completely frightened silly. This can't be. Or did my eyes go wrong? Chen Feng came to the bullfighting country from Brazil, and his strength has increased a lot. It's only been 3 months since he last played in the final of the Copa de Brasil. In just 3 months, he was able to forge his skills to such perfection? Fantastic. Boss Simeone was stunned. Boss, this is too treacherous, right? We all watched Chen Feng's match in Brazil. Although he can play Tencio almost every game, the traces of his poor skills are still relatively obvious, and there have even been mistakes in being broken by other players. How come now, after completing all kinds of Tencio skills in such a short time, he didn't come to his senses in the face of his defensive players? And he scored without explanation? Assistant coach Fernando was also dumbfounded. After a while, the thunderous sound of the audience completely appeared, deafening. The match continued. Group B won the ball. Costa took the ball and chose to go straight in. It seems that he also wants to score a goal to prove his strength. However, the dribbling under his feet is not fine, and in Chen Feng's opinion, it is full of flaws. Chen Feng seized the opportunity, kicked a flying tackle from the flank, successfully broke the ball, and then turned on the high-speed running mode with the ball, leaving a group of defenders chasing him behind. The body of a full-level overlord is so domineering and fierce. Facing the goalkeeper's defense, Chen Feng kicked straight through, silently wiped the goalkeeper's body, and slammed into the net. This is the legendary stroke master. The goalkeeper watched the ball pass by, but was powerless to stop it. The score came to 2-1. The audience was in an uproar again. Next, Chen Feng scored 4 goals in a row to win the senior year and help Group A win the confrontation match. At this time, the players of the whole team were tired and panting, because Chen Feng often ran without the ball in a wide range of the game, and the defenders chased him fiercely, and after only 30 minutes of play, the whole team was paralyzed. And this confrontation game also completely established Chen Feng's unique team soul status in Atletico. After the game, the whole team sat on the ground to rest, and coach Simeone changed the number 10 player Turan in midfield to 25 knocks. The 10th was given to Chen Feng. According to this, Chen Feng directly put on the 10 shirt and formed a confrontation with Barca's number 10 player Messi. As for whether to promote Chen Feng to captain, Simeone still needs to investigate. During the break, Costa walked up to Chen Feng, and he signaled his teammates to calm down. Teammates, there is one thing I want to make a special point. Then, Costa looked at Chen Feng. I want to solemnly apologize to King Chen Wu. Previously, due to personal prejudice, I said bad things about King Chen Wuwang behind my back, tarnishing King Chen Wuwang's reputation. I'm ashamed of what I've done before. I hope you can forgive me. Costa held out his right hand for summation. At this time, he was also uneasy in his heart. After all, he was the evil man first, and it was understandable if Chen Feng did not forgive himself. If Chen Feng really didn't forgive himself, then he wouldn't be able to get off the stage today. The strength shown by Chen Feng today is definitely the existence of the thighs and soul of the team. Professional players are like this: if you want to gain the respect of the other party, you must show your own strong water to be persuasive. And Chen Feng's performance today completely proves his super strength. Was unanimously recognized and respected by his teammates, and also made Costa feel ashamed, but Chen Feng immediately got up, held Costa's hand tightly, and patted his shoulder with his right hand, encouraging, "There is nothing to forgive or not forgive, we are already teammates, brothers." Brothers naturally will not care about this, is not a problem. Costa was slightly stunned after hearing this, then nodded heavily and hugged Chen Feng tightly. He didn't expect Chen Feng's skills to be so good, his personality was so good, he was only 18 years old, and he would definitely have a lot to do in the future. At this time, Coach Simeone walked towards them and said with a smile, "Chen Feng, Costa, both of your performances today surprised me. I always don't like to exaggerate the personal heroism of players, but Chen, your performance today is indeed impeccable." Then you all listened, and after tactical discussion and arrangement by the coaching staff, we decided to launch the C&D combination. As soon as these words came out, the audience instantly fried the pan. What? C&D combination? What is this combination? It's supposed to be the strongest striker combination, right? If I'm not mistaken, it should be Chen Feng, Falcao, and Costa. Yes, I think so. Under the discussion of the players, Simeone solemnly announced, Barca has MSN combination, Real Madrid has BBC combination, we are C&D combination. C&D is with Chen Feng as the head of the trident, Falcao and Costa as the other two forks of the trident. I believe that as long as we build properly, we can overturn our opponents in La Liga and even the Champions League and win our world. As soon as this announcement came out, the team members fried the pan again, shouting loudly one by one, C&D, C&D. Simeone offered the C&D forward combination, which on the one hand borrowed from the forward combination tactics of Real Madrid and Barca, and on the other hand, it also represented an upgrade of his original tactics. It must be known that Simeone's tactical style has always been mainly defensive counterattack. He believes in defense first, emphasizing high interception, not emphasizing possession, paying attention to defensive counterattacks, emphasizing victory first, 100% execution and concise and efficient. The 442 tactic was the tactic he relied on to survive. Since Simeone took the helm in 2011, he has executed such tactics. If Chen Feng had not crossed into this world and had not joined Atletico, then Simeone would have executed such tactics to the end. Of course, the effect was very obvious, indeed allowing the horse to stand at an unprecedented height, but the ceiling was still not high enough, because in the end he did not touch the trophy of the Champions League. The reason for choosing this tactic is because Simeone knows that Atletico do not have world stars like Real Madrid and Barca, and naturally cannot create the strongest forward combination. But after Chen Feng came, everything was different. Chen Feng is Atletico's final puzzle. After watching Chen Feng's trial and confrontation matches, Simeone resolutely chose to fulfill his promise, that is, to gather all resources to build Chen Feng into a world superstar comparable to Mero. In their original tactics, add MSN's strongest striker combination, so that you can add offensive advantages to the super defensive system. The entire lineup and tactical system look very perfect. Simeone couldn't help but rejoice at his great decision. Episode 74. La Liga debut against Barca. Messi actually did not play? After a month of hard running and training, Chen Feng has completely integrated into the Atletico team, and the C&D combination is ready to go. At present, La Liga has reached the 25th round of matches, and this month, Ma actually played Santander and Gijón respectively, both of which were draws, and obtained 2 points. It currently sits 5th in the table with 9 wins, 7 draws and 7 defeats, and 34 points. Chen Feng pinched his fingers and calculated, because Ma had lost 7 games, so even if Chen Feng helped Atletico win all the remaining 13 rounds, the total points were 73 points. According to the original historical trajectory, this point is also 3rd in the standings. That is to say, this season, Chen Feng can no longer help Atletico win the La Liga title. Because Real Madrid and Barca are too strong, after all 38 rounds, Real Madrid's total points will reach 100 points, and Barca is 91 points. Even if Atletico win the next games against Real Madrid and Barca, Real Madrid can reach a total of 97 points, and Barca 88, which is still far higher than 73. Therefore, Chen Feng secretly set a goal for the team, that is, to do his best to win the remaining 13 games and go all out to attack the 3rd place in La Liga. As long as you complete the goal, you can directly qualify for the main stage of the Champions League. Chen Feng shared his ideas with the manager and received praise from Simeone. It's been a month of intense training. Even if there is a competition, there is no rest for the day. You have done a great job. I am proud of you. Next, our goal is to do our best to win the remaining 13 games and go all out for the Champions League. Are you confident? Simeone uses shouting and roaring to encourage the players to run and fight, and he is always so scrappy and motivated. Yes, 100%. The players shouted in unison. Morale was pressing. Very good, then let me witness your real king. 3 days later, the 25th round of La Liga, home Atletico Madrid versus away Barcelona. Due to this year's winter break, Ma and Barca have injected new blood, respectively introducing free Brazilian stars Chen Feng and Ma Er, both top dancers of Samba football, with countless fans in Brazil and the most important honors in Brazil. Chen Feng is known as the Samba King by Brazilian fans, while Ma Er is the last Samba dancer. So this game is in the spotlight. On the hot search lists such as Brazilian Twitter, Dragon Country Neck Neck, and Weixing, the topic of this game occupies the top 3 hot search lists. Topic #Atletico vs Barcelona can break the curse of Zhu defeat? Hashtag no suspense to start? Hashtag once again, who can laugh at the European arena? Hashtag can the monopoly of the Western Super League be broken? Hashtag Barca is full of stars, the overall strength is far above Atletico, Chen Feng will pay for his wrong choice. In Brazilian football, Chen Feng pressed the horse and sat strongly on the seat of the Samba King. But when he went to the European arena, Chen Feng joined Ma Jing due to overconfidence, resulting in a missed opportunity. Simeone's role as Atletico manager has really injected a sense of place and an insatiable attitude to the team, but so far it has had little effect. The fans of the vast number of Brazilians and the Dragon Country also expressed their opinions. It is precisely because the overall strength of Ma is weaker than Barca. If Chen Wuwang can help Ma defeat Barca, then he will become the first person in the history of Ma Jing. Chen Wuwang's talent in the Brazilian league has fascinated me every time. I'm sure he will never let himself make a mistake, and he definitely chose Atletico for his reasons. I also believe that Chen Wuwang, as a fan, should fully support any decision of the star. Barca's MSN striker combination and Habib midfield combination are a miracle in world football. Even if Chen Wuwang's personal skills are strong, I am afraid that he will not be able to shake Barca. I said you don't guess and wait and see? Think Barca will win, so hurry up and buy it on the spinach plate. Now the odds have reached 5-1. The Calderon Stadium, which can accommodate more than 50,000 people, is already full. A number of European football media reporters also arrived at the stadium to complete some necessary interviews. The journalists also greeted each other and then expressed their opinions. There is no suspense in this game. The gap between Atletico Madrid and Barca is too big. MSN strikers and Habib midfield combination shine in world football, but on the other hand, horses have nothing. I heard that Chen Feng, a Chinese from Brazil, joined Ma Jing. Maybe he has brought great changes to the team. Samba football is no longer orthodox. The whole of Europe is abandoning this style of football. European football is the mainstream of the world. Chen Feng's show in Brazil is a dead snake in Europe. Bao Zhuan died a terrible death. I also think so. European football pays attention to cleanliness, does not drag mud and water, but Samba football pays attention to personal final show, which is incompatible with the current fast-paced era. If it is just for the sake of show, then not only will it be despised and disgusted by the opponent, but also your teammates will not look at it. With just an hour to go before the start of the game, the starting squad for Ma and Barca was late in being released. Chen Feng is in the squad as the number 10 player, but shockingly, Barca's starting squad does not have Messi's name, although the horse is among them, but Messi is sitting on the bench. It is clear that Barca can't look at Atletico. Barca's head coach Josep believes that beating Ma Dang does not need the soul of Messi. What? Messi actually doesn't play? Isn't this too contemptuous? That is, Barca deceives people too much. We must beat Barca violently to eliminate the hatred in our hearts. It's just a naked provocation, it's unbearable. Chen Feng also heard the discussion of his teammates, and immediately stepped forward to persuade, don't worry, Messi is here, he may not be able to compete with us, he is not there, Barca lost. So sooner or later, Messi will be in danger, so you put your heart in your stomach. As soon as these words came out, everyone in the team was stunned. What, Messi is here, may not be able to compete with us? Chen, you are a bit ashamed. Yes, Messi is the first person on active duty. You said this. Chen, you are also too arrogant. Pre-war arrogance is a taboo for soldiers. Only Falcao in the team firmly believed Chen Feng. I believe Chen's prophecy. It's better for everyone to gamble. If Chen loses, then we can all say that he is shameless in the future. But if he wins, I hope everyone can believe in him completely and really take him as the soul of the team. Okay, then we'll bet on this one. In a word, Falcao showed a look of delight. Chen Feng was about to change clothes and go to the arena to warm up in advance, but he didn't expect Laura's phone to call. Chen, the game hasn't started yet, has it? I've arrived at your club. Laura gasped. What? When did you come? Why don't you tell me in advance? Chen Feng was extremely surprised. Didn't I want to surprise you? This is your debut in Europe. If I can't witness it, do you deserve to be your woman? Laura said shyly on the phone. Okay, half an hour before the game, I'll pick you up right away at the club. With that, Chen Feng ran towards the gate. Chen, why are you going? How did you run so fast? It's lightning fast. I guess it's my sweetheart coming. Yes, I have never seen him so excited on weekdays, it must be his woman coming. The teammates quipped. Chen Feng quickly ran to the door of the club and saw the gentle and lovely Laura. Wearing a plaid dress, a beige sweater, and white marten boots, Laura is like a fairy, shining in the sun. Chen Feng ran over and hugged Laura tightly, and after a few seconds, he directly picked her up and spun around in place a few times. Laura, I want to kill you. Chen Feng confessed loudly. I miss you too. Laura's ears were blushing. Although she is a woman full of professional style, in front of her sweetheart, what decisiveness, strength is gone, only gentle and lovely. Hurry up and follow me in, shall you? The game is about to start. Good. Chen Feng took Laura's hand and ran to the Calderon Stadium, and when his teammates saw this scene, they were so envious that their saliva came out. My God, such a stunning stunner, this is the first time I've seen. This look, this figure, no wonder Chen is getting thinner day by day. I am also barely a little prince of nightclubs. I have visited major nightclubs in bullfighting country, but those women are completely bleak in front of her. You guys see DC drool one by one and want to fart? You don't look at your appearance, this ball skill, completely beaten by Chen Wuwang, and the stunning beauty, can't look at you. Poof. You really squirt feces in your mouth. Hurry up and warm up, the meeting will be on the stage later. When I turn back, I will also go to the universities of the bullfighting country to cheat one too. The teammates chattered for a while, and the envy was overflowing. Chen Feng asked the staff to arrange for Laura to sit in the front of the home court, and then went to the field to warm up and prepare to stop the game. Laura's gaze cast away, and she actually saw the superstar Messi under the field. Messi quietly looked at the arena, his eyes were resolute, low-key and humble. Laura admired. No wonder Messi can become the first person on active duty, with this unique spiritual attribute and leadership temperament. It's no surprise that Messi has become a world superstar. As soon as the two teams entered, the fans erupted into deafening shouts. After all, it was at Atletico's home stadium, Stade Calderon. So Beijing has a lot of fans, and Barca only accounts for a tenth of the fans. Chen Feng saw the horse with golden moxigans hair at a glance, and then the horse also raised his eyes to look at him, and the fire of war instantly burned. Idiot, look how I avenge my insults. The horse secretly clenched his fists, and his eyes breathed fire several times. The referee then blew the whistle of the game. Barca got the ball, and back Busquets got the ball, cleanly dribbled away the defenders, and then kicked straight to Xavi. As the core of the Habebo combination, Harvey has a full sense of rhythm, and the success rate of taking the ball is extremely stable, and his delicate breakthrough footwork allows him to successfully plunge straight into the abdomen of the horse. Facing the bag of the three defenders of Beijing, Harvey immediately returned the ball to Busquets behind him, and then quickly ran to the big gap without the ball. Sergio Busquets made a short pass to Suarez. Without Messi, the combat effectiveness of the MSN Trident has been weakened by more than half. But Suarez was responsible for the forward insertion, while the horse was responsible for the weak side outflanking, and when there was no gap, the two used the breakthrough to tear the opposing defense to create a gap. Although MSN only played two people, it was clear that the tactics used were all three. Chen Feng naturally saw all this in his eyes. Although Suarez is very good at dribbling, he is clearly not fast enough, which is one of his weaknesses. Coach Simeone roared and shouted passionately from the sidelines, "Sacrifice the 442 tactic, block from a high position." The 442 tactic is one of Simeone's super defensive tactics, known as oppressive defense. As soon as the manager gave the order, Atletico quickly shrunk the formation into three lines, with defenders, midfielders, and forwards approaching each other and working closely together. What is wanted is to leave no gaps, typical chain defense. The direction of this chain defense pressure is not a single player, but through the compression and interception of the overall formation to disrupt the opponent's offensive rhythm and passing coordination. As soon as the 442 tactic was laid out, Barca instantly felt the pressure coming from the approach. Even if it was as strong as Suarez, it could not complete an effective breakthrough, and could only choose to pass back to the horse. Horse is also making his Europa League debut, and he takes the race very seriously, trying to take every opportunity to make a difference. Facing Ma Jing's defenders, he actually performed a rainbow stunt in La Liga. At this time, his rainbow stunt had matured and perfectly crossed Cork's defense. Cork is a native of bullfighting, playing European football. In the face of the rainbow skills of horses, he subconsciously thinks that this horse is humiliating him, so he is angry. After the horse threw him away, Cork, who did not dare to humiliate, suddenly started running towards the horse, and after a physical confrontation, Cork did not break the ball. I have to say that the horses who landed in La Liga at this time have gradually reached their peak. Seeing that Cork's fight was unsuccessful, the horse showed an evil smile of the victor. This scene completely angered Cork, who kicked a flying shovel from the flank and directly hit the horse's left foot. The horse could not dodge. The left foot was directly twisted and deformed, and the left ankle was torn again. The horse lay on the ground holding his left foot, heartbreaking in pain. In the first time in the Bundesliga, the horse was also retaliated against, and it was also a torn ankle. The last time I had my hand, the doctor told me that my ankle should never be injured a second time. He didn't expect that he would be retaliated against in his European debut, and would he have to leave the debut like this? The linesman blew the whistle for a foul and Cork was given a yellow card. Seeing this, Chen Feng smiled indifferently, went up and patted Cork's shoulder, without encouragement or criticism. You must know that Atletico under Simeone's coaching is the Predator Legion, and the horses actually play a rainbow in front of the Predator? With his body, can he bear it? If you want to blame, you can only blame the horse for not doing your homework beforehand. In the middle of the race, the team doctor came on to check the horse's injury, and found that he had a severe tear in his left ankle and had to be sent to the hospital immediately, otherwise his career could be ruined. Josep turned dark to the extreme, angrily waved in agreement, letting the substitute striker play. The horses were all kicked to the field with serious injuries, and Josep could actually bear not being able to play Messi, and the hatred in the hearts of the players who got off the horse was even stronger. Episode 75. The C&D combination emerges first, Chen Feng's first goal in La Liga. Without the horse, Messi did not play again, MSN only left Suarez, and the attack was instantly muted. The three of Habib began to stand up and Harvey stopped the attack from the right flank. It has to be said that Habib's passing ability is very superb and excellent, worthy of being the top European midfielder at the Palace level. Harvey's smooth long pass, coupled with his god perspective like long eyes in the back of his head. The ball was passed with precision to Suarez, who was in a big gap. Suarez started suddenly, thrust the ball straight into Atletico's abdomen with an incredibly clean, sharp style, and opted for a straight shot against the goalkeeper's defense. Unfortunately, the angle of the shot was not accurate enough, and the ball was confiscated by the goalkeeper. The away fan sighed, "Go to Messi, why not Messi? The MSN striker combination is only Suarez. On Messi, on Messi. What is Josep doing, the manager? Is Josep really a man who wants to die and live to suffer? Until the last moment, it is estimated that he will not pull down his face to let Messi play? He wouldn't be naive enough to think that without Messi, Barca would still be able to beat Atletico, right? Josep is such an idiot." At the same time, the 5 sets of Dragon Country thousands of miles away are in full swing broadcasting this high-profile event, instantly becoming the first in the ratings of the same period, causing heated discussions among Dragon Country fans. Barca's offensive and passing control ability is one of the best in Europe. Even if Messi is not playing, it is still so strong. But fortunately, the defensive ability of the predatory Atletico Madrid is solid, and Barca has failed several times to organize attacks. The ball should come to Ma Jing's side now. I want to see how Chen Feng is perfect for Tianqiu. Samba football is really unconvinced in Europe, strong as De Luo, Xiao Luo, their Samba skills are also forced to integrate European style. The horse was seriously injured because of a rainbow. I really pinched the sweat for Chen Feng. I don't know if he couldn't use his soul-destroying ball skills, so he was held back alive. In that case, it is estimated that he will be seriously injured. No, you can see that Atletico's defense is solid, you can say that it has done it to the extreme. In this case, even if it is as strong as Marrow, it is estimated that it will be difficult to tear the crack. As long as Atletico's defense is extreme, then with Chen Feng alone, it can directly smash the Yellow Dragon. Makes sense, so I'm very much looking forward to Chen Feng's wonderful performance after taking the ball. The title of the Iron-Blooded Legion is not covered. Ma Jing's defense is simply the ultimate. How will Chen Feng organize the attack next? Chen Feng took the ball, he directly pulled the ball through the crotch and ox's tail, very beautiful and gorgeous to throw off the opponent's defenders. Facing the three's bag and pressing, Chen Feng passed back to Falcao on the sideline. Falcao broke through with the ball accurately, and then passed to Chen Feng in one kick. Lu Qi, the commentator of the 5 sets of CCTV sports channels in Longwa, explained excitedly. On the field, facing a long pass from Falcao, Chen Feng was ready to use a header to hit the ball into the goal. 3 defenders had gathered beside him, facing the long pass. Several people jumped at the same time as Chen Feng, but he didn't expect Chen Feng's bouncing power to be so amazing. Chen Feng's knee was actually in the head of the defender. Coupled with that terrifying stagnant ability, a beautiful header shot on goal, I didn't expect to be extinguished by Barca's steel goalkeeper Valdez. Is it so strong? Chen Feng was surprised. You must know that his header just now was specially designed, basically a dead corner, but I didn't expect to be killed by the goalkeeper. At this moment, Ma Jing's fans were also embarrassed. However, Chen Feng's amazing bouncing ability just now shocked everyone present. They are also professional players, and the gap in bouncing ability will not be too obvious, but in the scene just now, it can be said that Chen Feng was completely crushed. Falcao, who has excellent bouncing ability, was also stunned when he saw the scene. The goalkeeper kicked off, Suarez took the ball, the horse quickly switched between attack and defense, and all 10 men were involved in the defense. Strict implementation of Coach Simeone's 4-4-2 defensive tactics must be specific to the details. Ma Jing's 4 midfielders played desperately pressing, causing Suarez to be very uncomfortable. Originally Suarez's dribbling skills were first class, but in the face of the ultimate defense of the Predator Legion, he also had to sigh. All the way to the frontal lateral dribbling, past a defender, but another defender will immediately make up for the defense, can pass once, can pass twice, but as strong as Suarez is also very sad for the 3rd time. Since Ma Jing's 4-4-2 tactics are prone to big gaps, Barca intends to make a fuss about this big gap. Xavi suddenly accelerates to occupy the big gap, and then raises his hand to signal Suarez for the ball. But at this moment, Ma Jing's 4 defenders instantly contracted towards Suarez, and this recovery directly caused Xavi's connection line to be cut off. At one point, Suarez collapsed. Sergio Busquets tried to plug in to catch the ball, but he was chased by the Atletico defender and had no chance to catch the ball. Suarez had to choose to break through head-on, but due to a broken mentality, there was a dribble error at his feet and was tackled away by Costa from the flank. After Atletico got the ball, they quickly changed from a defensive formation to an attacking formation 343. C&D striker combination made a strong appearance. Costa attacked from the right with the ball, Chen Feng pressed the midfield, and Falcao picked up on the left wing. Faced with the chase and interception of the opponent's 3 defenders, Costa passed the ball to Chen Feng at the first time. After taking the ball, Chen Feng's eyes flashed, and it was time to show his super skills. In the previous attack, he was purely testing how strong Barca's defensive ability is. It has to be said that except for the goalkeeper who surprised him, everything else was expected by him. Barca's attack on MSN and Habib's passing, as for defense, are much worse than horses. Chen Feng admired Coach Simeone in his heart. The 4-4-2 tactics he forged can limit the top giants Barca to death, and if they limit other weak teams, it is even more important. No wonder this line of defense later became the famous Great Wall of Steel in Europe. If it weren't for Atletico's lack of a very offensive attacking combination, they would not have stopped the Champions League final twice, leaving Simeone with regret for life. However, this life Chen Feng came, with his super offensive power as the giant engine of Atletico, he believes that horses can definitely forge a new dynasty. Thinking of this, Chen Feng showed an evil smile at the corner of his mouth, and after taking the ball, he continued to dribble horizontally in the front, and went straight into the hinterland of Barca. Facing the chase and interception of the Barca 4, Chen Feng quickly distributed the ball to Falca on the wing in the high-speed running, and then quickly inserted a second reception, and Falca paused for a short pass to Costa. Costa didn't leave the ball, paused and sent a brilliant straight shot to give Chen Feng, who was inserted back, the opportunity to face the goalkeeper. Last time I was pounced by you, you have the ability to pounce again. In addition to the secret passage, Chen Feng jumped back with his feet, instantly threw the ball from behind into the air, then turned around and struck an upside-down golden hook, and the ball flew steadily into the net. Valdez, the god of the steel gate, did not react at all, because Chen Feng blocked the sight of the ball. The score came to 1-0. Chen Feng scored his first La Liga goal and made his debut perfectly. The whole scene was instantly fried, and the Ma Jing fans frantically shouted Chen Feng's name. The entire Calderon Stadium was instantly covered in deafening shouts. Chen. 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 This kid? You actually play this kind of ball trick with me? The steel door god Valdez was completely dumbfounded. As the European steel door god, Valdez has won countless honors with Barca, and has also experienced hundreds of battles. But this is the first time he has been teased like this. Just because he killed Chen Feng's ball last time, Chen Feng teased him like this? Seeing this, the Barca players were stunned one by one. What kind of operation is this kid? Do you need to face the goalkeeper with such bells and whistles? No wonder Samba football was abandoned by Europe. Yes, I look disgusted. I really want to slap him to death. We have already lost a goal. If the manager does not let Messi play again, it is estimated that he will finish the CAF. Although this kid's last trick is fancy and whistle, his dribbling, and bouncing are amazing, and the whole process is extremely smooth, fast and gorgeous. Yes, the last two strokes are simply natural. I can't find a single flaw, and it's beautiful to the extreme. Beautiful fart, scratch your head. I hate this kind of show-loving player the most. If you run into me, you have to rip off his tendons. At the same time, Messi's eyes suddenly shrank on the Barca bench, and Coach Josep on the side frowned unexpectedly saw the scene. As the first person on active duty, Josep saw Messi frown for the first time, indicating that he was shocked by Chen Feng's performance. I have to say that this kid is very outrageous. Josep has long watched Chen Feng's matches in Brazil, although there are often tension moments in every game, but from his skills can still clearly see flaws and roughness. But just a few months have passed, and Chen Feng's skills seem to have improved a lot, and it can even be said that it is close to completion. Because Josep, who is in charge of Europe's top giants, can hardly see any obvious flaws in Chen Feng's skills. Extremely smooth, gorgeous and enchanting, brilliant. Josep was shocked in his heart, and the hand he held tightly instantly sweated. He quickly signaled to the referee and wanted to change people. The referee blew the whistle for the substitution, and Messi finally changed on Barca's side. Finally on Messi, Barca have sensed the unstoppable situation of Atletico. Chen Wuwang is really YYDS. I said earlier that if he can show in Brazil, then he will definitely be able to show in Europe. Although I don't know much about football, when I watch Chen Wuwang play football, it's like watching a beautiful football art. Yes, the ups and downs, the dancing is smooth, and the rhythm of the music are very beautiful. It feels like a dance and like a wild cursive calligraphy. Oh my god, according to this trend, Chen Feng is completely likely to become the third pole comparable to Mero. Don't worry, this game has just begun, continue to watch patiently. After all, the horse was seriously injured and Messi did not play, and Barca's sharpest MSN combination does not exist. Wait for Messi to go on. If Chen Feng can still show up, it will be a real god. Barca were ready to sacrifice the MSN combination, and although the horse was seriously injured, Josep asked striker Pedro to take the horse's place. Pedro is actually very good, but there are too many outstanding players in the Cosmos Barca, resulting in him losing his presence. Barca are a killer weapon, trying to regain their lost face and win this game. Is it the Barca MSN, which claims to be the strongest combination of the 20th century, or the newly formed Atletico Madrid C and D combination? Let's wait and see. Lu Qi, the commentator of the Dragon Kingdom, explained passionately. Messi came on the field, and the ratings and attention about this game skyrocketed at this moment. The whole of Europe is starting to pay attention to this game of the Bundesliga. Countless Messi fans cheered him on in front of the TV and in the live broadcast room. This is God's appeal. Next, the game continues. After Barca took the ball, sure enough, the whole team ushered in a qualitative transformation, and Messi is the undisputed soul of Barca. Without him, the strength of the entire Barca will drop by several %. MSN and Habibu combination, very strong, attacking and midfield possession and full of firepower, once approached Atletico's small penalty area, almost shot successfully. Messi, who is at his peak, is among the top in the world in terms of his ability to organize attacks and dribbling. Chen Feng was not frightened by this. After all, he was a person with a system. In the face of Barca's all-line attack, Chen Feng raised his hand to signal the sacrifice of the 442 steel defense line. As soon as Messi got the ball, 4 defenders chased him and intercepted, and once Suarez or Pedro ran into a big gap, the 4 defenders quickly contracted and imposed an iron barrel on Messi, cutting him off from Suarez and Pedro. I have to say that I am as strong as Messi, and I am also under pressure. Before Simeone did not come to Atletico, Barca can be said to have completely hung Atletico, but after coming, Messi felt that the opponent's steel defense was difficult to break through. Faced with this situation, Messi can only choose a single knife, using the ultimate dribbling technique to break through, and then he encountered the dilemma that Suarez encountered before. Messi passed a defender, another defender came up to defend. The so-called 2 fists are difficult to fight with 4 hands. Good men are also afraid of group fighting. Messi, after passing the 2, chose a straight kick to pass to Xavi, who had almost no angle, and was finally successfully broken by Falcao. At this moment, the fans of the stadium once again erupted into deafening shouts. Laura in the stands was also as beautiful as a copper bell, and her heart jumped to her throat. After Falcao took the ball, Atletico quickly switched attack and defense 41, and the C&D combination launched a ferocious attack on Barca. After Falcao dribbled around several people perfectly, he passed to Chen Feng. You have to show off the sky, otherwise you won't get 10,000 sound wave value. Thinking of this, in the face of several defenders chasing and blocking, Chen Feng went out, and under the premise that Samba's ball skills were not complete, he forced a high-level ball skill pendulum. I saw Chen Feng's right foot take a step forward, his body tilted to the right, and then his left foot took another step forward to the left, and the center of gravity of his body shifted to the left. In the connection of the body and center of gravity. In the continued shaking, he instantly threw off several Barca defenders. Barca's teammates were stunned. What? Isn't this Deluo's pendulum passing people? How could Chen Feng? This kid is so physically strong? Doesn't he know that a pendulum is the most likely to hurt his knees? As strong as Deluo retired due to serious injury. It's just self-inflicted. I saw him try this stunt in Brazil before, and I heard the clicking sound all over the stadium, and although he was fine after renting, he was still a little bit devastated. But now, not only did he not show the slightest sign of injury, but he played the pendulum to be completely comparable to Deluo. This can't be. Messi? Atletico head coach Simeone? Chen actually showed the pendulum in the European League? Barca coach Josep? Chen Feng, who passed the defenders, rushed 30 meters to single out, and shot straight at 180 degrees. Shocking. The score is 2-0. At this moment, Messi, who is as strong as Messi, can't help but gasp for air.